Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Good morning, yo. Happy Thursday. Breezy, Bree, I see you, baby. You got the top spot back. I knew they weren't going to be able to keep you down, but for so long, I already knew it. Good morning. How you doing? What's up? Jada J, what is up? Good morning, Ania. Good morning. Chaos Smoothies Can. What's up? Good morning. Hey, Sam, being all consistent. What's up, Sam? Good morning. Ma, the general, y'all, the manager is here. You already know what that's about. Y'all better straighten up. What's up, Ma? Good morning. Booski Show. Good morning. Ma, what you mean there's no way, yo? What you mean, yo? You crazy. Don't be hating on my girl Breezy Bree, man. You already know. She owned it. She said it's hers, yo. Chill. Jamera, good morning. What's up? Hey, Elder, good morning. There she go. Miss
Hey,
Simone.
how are you?
I'm doing good. Yo, the official countdown begins, Miss Simone.
For what, Miss Joni?
Yo, 11 more days of success sessions, and then we want to break, yo.
I hear you. La 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 la.
Yo,
I can't. My heart can't take it. Oh,
I know, yo. I know. And see, but that's us going a whole week over. We were supposed to start on the 15th when schools ended. We going a whole week over.
that is true. Oh,
Yo.
we're gonna be everybody. Just start praying now. Pray, pray that we have some sanity and some peace for just a short time. Just a short.
Yo, the countdown is real. But the good thing is, anybody that's going to be rocking with us for Youth Works for the summer, Success Sessions is going to be our summer situation. So you're going to be getting paid through Youth Works to be on the Success Sessions. And we really going to get it popping.
Yeah, I was gonna. If anybody knows anything about the HeartSmiles Summer Institute for Youth Works, you're
I
gonna
don't
get
know.
life. It's because I got my whole life, so y'all can get yours.
Yo, they be starting the whole protest in the comments, yo. Kamaya Success is going to say no sessions, no peace.
Maya, not no sessions, no peace.
Yo, you know they started a whole hashtag yesterday. Two of them. One of them was sustained success sessions, and the other one was save success sessions. Yo,
This is so ghetto. Where I'm at.
yo, so ghetto, yo. But guess who got their top spot back?
Yes, Bree, come on.
Hey, already. Where was we at? Wavy Way, yo. Good morning. Illmatic, what's up? Good morning. Lene, yo. Lene be hanging with us, yo. Good morning. OGQ,
Hey,
yo. Good morning. Yo, Booski Show said, let's get this party rolling. You already know. We got a 2-for-1 today, y'all.
yes.
So we got a nice fire guest at 11. Then we got my man Germ coming at 12. Like, yeah, it's about to be straight today. Hardcore, good morning. Kamaya Success Sessions. What's up, baby girl? Good morning. Ari, good morning. Yo, Lene done, yo. She gonna say, y'all had me scared while I was in class, yo.
Me too. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
I cannot, y'all. I cannot. Hey, Keith, good morning. Yo, we ain't seen Keith
Keith. Keith,
in the
I,
house.
that's what
Keith,
I'm.
exactly. And yo, I was just talking about Keith yesterday because he had kind of fell off. He was supposed to go to Tampa, Florida with us, him
Right.
and Taylor. And we had a meeting yesterday because even though they're not going to have the conference in Tampa, they're going to have it virtually. And so when they were like, well, what happened to the other kids that were supposed to go to Tampa? Can they participate? And I'm just like, yo, I don't know. I don't be seeing them. So I had to pick kids who be showing up.
Oh,
I know. It's $500 opportunity though for a 1 hour presentation. So
my laptop, Miss John. I'm like, shut it down.
like, yo, yeah. So look, y'all make sure y'all stay on Keith. Keith need to consistently show up. I mean, we only got 11 days left, so it should not be that hard. But Keith, baby, you gotta make sure you showing up. Make sure you here, yo. I know, yo, get these opportunities. We miss you, yo. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Tell baby London we said hey. Hey, Missouri, what's up? Good morning. Missouri got a treat for y'all today. Yo, doing something real special. Jada J, good morning. Hey, Ma, y'all know my mother up in here.
Yes, Ma.
y'all know my mother stay on here, y'all. Hey, Ma. Yo, they is seriously protesting in these comments, y'all.
Johnny, you know you're about
Simone. It's too much, y'all. It's too much. It's too many comments, y'all.
I'm nervous.
No sessions, no peace, y'all.
I love y'all so much. Like when I say we are truly ghetto.
Yo, truly ghetto, y'all. We need a countdown calendar. I'm gonna put one up on IG. See, we need a countdown calendar, y'all.
That's just gonna make it even more sad.
Oh, all right. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing then. I'll just wait till the last day. Like, why? Won't see y'all Monday.
Tony, get out of here. You know your icebox is gonna be melting on the last day.
No, it's not. Yo, no, it's not. Cause we gotta add right back up for the summer.
That's very true. That's what I need to keep thinking. Like this is just like our season 2. We had season 1.
Exactly.
We're gonna have season 2. All right. That makes
exactly. Hey, so y'all do me a favor right now, yo. Who put you on to Success Sessions? Put that name in the comments. I'm trying to see something real quick. Put that name in the comments since y'all want to be protesting against me. Put that name in the content in the comments. Who put you on to Success Sessions? Yo, and where is that daggone baby Barack, yo? Because he knew I was going to drag him today.
Oh, no.
He on the conference call. We on the conference call with the national people yesterday, talking about the conference and all that stuff. So they was all like, so how you like HeartSmiles? Do you do the program every day, the Success Sessions? He gonna say, no, not really.
John!
Baby Barack, yo, out of all people. And he was so dry, yo. Talking about him. I said, well, you'll be on Success Sessions every day because I sure can't get you out of my head. Like
in the comments, like
lighten it up. Yo, somebody lean on him, yo.
Nervous, baby. It's okay. Oh.
Yo, a mess, yo. Chaos Smoothie, yo. Who else? Jada gonna say she put herself on. Bye, yo. That was all Elder. Get that girl her props. We know it's never gonna work, but get that girl her props.
Oh, y'all are jokes today.
They all jokes, y'all. On my IG, y'all is crazy. Man, let's get this started. I still want to know who put y'all on. Oh, Summer said, hey, Summer, good morning. Summer said Miss Simone put me on.
Oh, love you.
Elder said Chaos Movies put me on.
Come on. Gotta spread the success.
My Success Sessions said Instagram. And then I put John on.
I like that. and go get him. Please.
Adia said she put herself on. Adia, you is lying, yo. You did not put yourself on, yo. You ain't just say, oh yeah, let me show up. No, you did not. And they said, yo, Ma gonna say he put himself on. Why is all these people lying, yo? You did not put yourself on, yo. What is you talking about?
Joni, you put us on. That's really
Bree said, my cousin Jasmine.
okay, Jasmine.
Missouri said Tony put him on.
Good, yeah. Is Missouri in the waiting room while he's in the comments?
Let me see. we do got a couple of people knocking on this door right now. Let's open this door real quick, y'all.
Nervous. I'm like, hold up.
Yo, do y'all notice Miss Mo have a nice background every time she come on the 10 o'clock joint? Y'all notice that? We don't get the closed door with the clothes on the back of the door.
Oh,
no, we get the nice joint whenever she on the 10 o'clock, y'all. This her code switch.
good morning.
Miss Mo, good morning.
Oh, y'all don't even know why I be having the different backgrounds for real. Listen.
Yo, we know you be in the ghetto at 12 o'clock. Hey, Missouri.
Maybe.
What's up, man?
Hey, Missouri.
What's up?
I'm good.
Yo, you shining. You glowing.
Good.
I love
the
it.
lights on me.
Yeah, the glow is real. Better not be no little girl over there.
Of course not. I'm in New Jersey. I don't know nobody.
Okay, good. Because the glow is real. I love it, yo. Y'all see the glow up, don't y'all?
I appreciate it.
Got the melanin popping.
Yes.
So you're joining us from New Jersey, Missouri?
You said what?
Joining us from New Jersey?
Oh, no. I don't like it.
But that's where you live. She said you joining us from New
here.
Jersey. Yeah, he lives
Yeah.
there.
I thought you said something else. I ain't doing it.
It's okay.
Yeah. You get close to the phone.
So you can have as much time as you want to share your story and music, poetry. Does anybody else hear that though?
Yeah, Missouri, your phone in the ghetto a little bit.
You said my phone in the ghetto a little bit?
Yeah, like it's buzzing or something, like it's beeping or something.
It's like my speaker. It's the way I got to talk to you. Hold on.
Yeah, make sure it's not leaning on like a laptop or anything. Like if you're gonna put it down on a surface, make sure it's like a table.
I can just hold it now. I'm good.
You sure? Keep talking about something. Somebody got the clippers on.
Yeah, it's
They is so dumb.
All right, cut it out. That's enough of that.
Get these kids, yo.
Enough of that. Cut it out.
He said, I need a haircut. That's why he said that. He needs
I need a haircut too. It's okay.
Don't we all? I need my eyebrows done. We gonna make it, y'all. Okay.
I'm getting my haircut today. I ain't going for it. I can't go too much longer. But
it's cute. I like the little blowout.
Nah. Where do y'all want me to start at?
Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, like who you are and how you got to be here today.
Okay, cool. My name is Ross Tootie, Missouri. I'm 19, turning 20 in August. I graduated from Connections Community-Based Art School. I'm a poet, a mentor, a music artist, a lyricist, a community advocate. I joined HeartSmiles through Tone. I was performing at an event, and then he became like somebody that I was real close to and real connected with. So now I'm here. What are they doing? Oh my God! Why everybody wait so out?
Missouri, you stay focused, honey, because I know you have a powerful message. We get ghetto in the morning and in the afternoon, so it's all right. We're used to it. You just stay focused.
All right, cool.
So how did
I'm,
you go ahead?
it's just like I just want to say before I start, I appreciate everybody who's helping and who's helped me, and I appreciate you, Miss Simone. I appreciate you, Miss Mo. I appreciate you, Miss Johnny. I appreciate everything. So I just want to get it out of the way before I completely start.
Aw, thank you. We love you.
Of course, I love y'all too.
All right. So you want to tell us, I guess, just some of the things you've overcome in your life. Like a lot of people, we're all going through things. And I know that you have poetry and music as some of your outlets, but, you
Right.
know, like what
Um.
inspires poetry?
Well, basically, I'm gonna start from when I was real young. I was 4 years old. My mother got diagnosed with gastroparesis and diabetes. Gastroparesis is a stomach paralysis, meaning your pancreas doesn't fully work and is not functional like everyone else's is. You can't eat certain things. It was a point in time when all my mother really could eat was frozen stuff and not even frozen food. She could only eat frozen cups, snow cones, freeze pop. She would survive off of ice all day. Drinking water just used to make her nauseous, and she used to have real bad episodes. And once you start it, you can't stop. So I've been taking care of my mother since I was like 6. Uh, yeah, I was taking care of my mother since I was 6 and dealing with all types of things like that. I was in and out back and forth with my grandmother, the one that practically raised me while my mother was in the hospital due to my father doing other specific things in the street. I don't really know what he was doing. I know he was working most of the time, but you know how that goes. So, um, taking care of my mother since the age of 6. I learned how to do all of the insulin things, all the procedures since I was 6 years old. That's why I want to be a CNA because I'm used to helping people. And that's just something that I always wanted to do. Uh, I was 12 years old when my grandmother passed away. That really hit me. Because, like I said, she practically raised me. That's my mother's mother. Her name is Joyce Butler. My grandmother passed away, and I pretty much lost myself. I started like fighting, started smoking. I started hanging with the wrong crowd. Like I said, like to Miss Simone and Miss Joni, I jumped up the porch at a real early age. It was never no, oh, you can take this route type of thing. It was always a specific path that was designed for me. So that's just something that I was always dealing with. Lost my other grandmother when I was 14. I was in my room when I found out the news. Didn't really know about like why she passed, but I know that she passed. I didn't really want to ask too many questions because I don't like funerals and I don't like grieving. I dropped out of high school in the 10th grade to take care of my mother. But I was, like I said, a knucklehead, so it didn't really help. I didn't really get no education while I was at home because my mother was too sick to take care of me as far as schooling. And I wasn't going to do it myself because I didn't have that much discipline. Um, I've been through so many different trials and tribulations from 9th to 12th grade. I almost didn't graduate recently due to a mess up on the like faculty's behalf. I lost friends to the streets. I lost friends to death. I lost friends to suicide. I lost friends to jail. I got people I'm never gonna see again, and I never got a chance to say bye to. And all that just pretty much took a toll on me mentally. So that's why I moved the way that I moved, and I try to like be a better person. Because there was a point in time that I didn't want to be a better person, and I was stagnant and I was stuck in my ways. But now we try and get there, and we try and move to a better positive state. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Miss Mel, Miss Joni, did y'all have any? Because I'll ask the question all day, but I want to hear. Are there any comments?
I
Yeah.
just wanted to say like, Missouri, I really appreciate like every time that I see you like perform, one of your pieces, whatever it may be, a poem, rap, song, whatever it is. Like every time I make sure that I try to catch it because it's always so powerful. So wanted to say thank you for sharing your talents with the world, of course.
I
Um,
appreciate you.
yeah, yeah, no problem. And then I also wanted to ask you because that's a lot, okay? And I hope that are not underestimating because that's a lot to go through. So I'm wondering, like, what kind of coping skills did you use, or like, how did you get through, or how are you still managing to get through those times?
All right, so uh, during that time, I developed real unhealthy coping skills. Like I said, I was 12 when I first started smoking, due to the fact that my grandmother passed and I had nobody to talk to. I started smoking blunt and miles when I was 13. It's not something I glorify. I do not promote it. It is what it is. It's a lifestyle change that I'm trying to make and a decision that I made when I was younger. And it's taking a toll on my money, taking a toll on all of that. Another coping skill was music. I would say that music and poetry really saved my life. In ninth grade, my English teacher named Mr. Corbin, he told me write an essay. I couldn't do it. I started crying. He said, "Son, take yourself more serious as a writer because I know that you're powerful just by the way that you speak." So he pulled me back into the classroom. I did the essay, and then he put me on the poetry team, and that's when I found out that I had a gift for poetry. So that's when poetry became my outlet. I would voice out my real life situations through my poems, my music, and like the studio sessions for me. I don't look at them as studio sessions. I look at it as a time for venting because it's a lot of things that I'm not going to say to people, and it's a lot of not a lot of things that people know about me. But everything that people don't know about me, I put it into my music. And I play the game a lot too. I play 2K. That's one of my biggest stressful beats. I ain't gonna lie. I let all my anger out on the game. So we trying to get rid of the unhealthy coping skills and get the good ones back. So that's some of the things I use to cope.
What's your comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Missouri, I'm super proud of you because not too many people, you know, connect and say that they're going to be consistent and actually follow up on being consistent. And like the fact that you actually did and like your growth is just like undeniable. Like I'm just proud of you as a young black man in America, especially at this time, who is proven everything to be wrong in terms of like what they like to say about young black men. So just thank you for being a example of what it looks like to say that you're going to do different and actually do different. You do got some
Yes,
questions in
ma'am. I
the
appreciate it.
comments. No, I appreciate you more, man. Miss Simone, I don't know if you wanted me to read the two questions that's in the comments or you want to wait. Okay. Jamira wants to know, how were you able to take care of yourself during that time? And David asks, how did you change your life back around after going down the wrong path due to your problems?
All right. As far as how did I take care of myself, mentally, I wasn't fully there, but emotionally, I was always trying to make sure I was uplifted and high spirits. The people that I hung around always kept me in good spirits, even though they weren't the most positive people. They was who I liked to be around. Like they were the people I like enjoying my time with. They who I wanted to spend my time with because I called them my brothers. So I pretty much used them to take care of myself mentally and emotionally, even though that still didn't fully get me there. uh, I sold a couple drugs here and there to get money to make sure that I could get clothes, get food, get toiletry, stuff like that. It's not something I'm proud of, but like I said, that happened. And I got to own up to my mistakes, and I know it ain't right. And to respond to David's question, the way I changed my life back around, my grandmother passed and my uncle passed. My uncle last conversation with me was graduating and making sure that I'm a better person and making sure that I don't stay in the same position that I was in this time next year. And my uncle passed in his sleep that night. So that was I was the last person my uncle talked to, and that was the last conversation that he said to me and the last conversation I had with him. So that was a motivation for me to want to graduate. Because I didn't even want to graduate for myself. It was specifically for my mother, my father, and my uncle and my grandmother. I didn't care if I graduated or not. Like, it was several times I had to let that be known. So um, that's how I pretty much kept my life around. I thought about if all of the people who passed away, all of the older people in my life would want me to be making the decisions that I'm making. And I realized that they wouldn't want me to make them, and they would be real disappointed in me if they saw the things that was going down and happening. So I just changed my trajectory and tried to switch it around. Because all I ever wanted to do was make my grandmother proud. And I know the things that I was doing, I wouldn't be making them proud. They would be real upset. They would be under so much turmoil and stress. So I wanted to take all of that and put that into making myself a better person. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no, that's powerful, Missouri. And I wanted, because we always talk about like mindset, people you have around you. So when you started changing your life around, did you it in your mindset and the people you had around you? Like, how did you balance that so you can achieve, graduating from high school?
No, I had to separate myself from a lot of people. There was a lot of people that didn't like the fact that I was trying to be a better person. They thought that I was contradicting myself, saying, "Oh, you always speak about this, but you doing that." Look, it ain't about that. It's trying to move towards a higher goal. And I always tell people, if like you don't fit the image or picture of my life, then you can definitely leave. Like you don't have to be here at all. Because I'm gonna be perfectly fine without you, regardless. And that's what some people did not understand. And I had to make them understand that, like, just because we're not talking and constantly communicating does not mean that I will not survive. Because you, excuse me, because you are nothing except for like a person. Like you're not helping me when it comes to my mental state. You're not helping me when it comes to me putting money in my pockets. You're not helping me with none of that stuff. So however you feel about me not talking to you, however you feel about me working towards being a better me, you can feel that way on your own. I don't care. Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. You're gonna be mad about it, you're gonna be sad about it, you're gonna be proud. It's three different emotions that you're gonna share, and it's up to you to show me which emotion you're gonna show. Like, mm.
Absolutely. Miss Joni, Miss Mo, anything? I
Oh
am
my God.
No, it's okay, Missouri. I'm actually so upset, right? Because that I just know this is the devil. Because last night when we were preparing for Missouri session, none of this was happening. He was practicing to get us distracted. But we're just gonna talk louder, Missouri. You just stay focused, and we're just gonna pretend like it's like people cheering you on. Pretend it's a clap, okay? So every time
I'm
you,
trying.
that's a clap, okay?
Trying.
Wavy Way got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
He says, was it harder or easier when you were doing it for yourself compared to when you were doing it for people you cared about?
Yeah, it was hard doing it for myself. It was hard. It was real hard because I had to understand that I can't try to make everybody happy and please everybody, and I gotta find happiness within myself. I was always trying to make sure everybody was straight, make sure everybody was good, always be that shoulder to cry on. But at the end of the day, I never really had a shoulder to cry on. When it came to me graduating from my family members, I had to find. It didn't finally hit me that I did this for myself and I graduated until the day of graduation when I was walking down the aisle. I swear, it did not connect that I'm finally about to graduate and I'm about to get tossed into the real world. And once I realized I did it for me, that's when I realized a lot more things had to change. And I had to move completely different because at this point, I can't use the fact, oh, I'm a kid, I'm in school still. Now I'm about to be 19. At the moment, I was about to be 19, just graduated high school in a rough household where your people was always constantly harping on school and how you didn't do this and didn't do that. But now you got to shut them up because you finally about to graduate. But it's still going to be something else for them to complain about. So you can't use that as like a reason to not want to move further. Because that was one of the things I also did. I used to I used to make an excuse about myself and be like, oh, I can't do it because of this. I can't do it because of that. But in actuality, I just didn't want to do it for myself. And now that I know I want to do it for myself, it's everything that I didn't really get a chance to do or I didn't do the positive way. I wish I could have took it all back and started all over. But at the end of the day, I really don't because that's really what makes me me. It's like based off of your experiences. So um, it was hard, but I got there. I worked towards it, and now we straight.
Absolutely. Kamaya says, do you believe in motivation? If so, what motivated you to evolve into the person you are now?
Yeah, I believe in motivation. Believe it or not, some of the things that helped me get motivated to being where I'm at now is watching my little brothers go down the same wrong road, start making bad decisions. Like I said, I lost friends. Like I lost more friends to the streets this year than my age. Like I'm 19. I lost friends to jail this year alone. I lost over like 20 homeboys to jail or death, and some of them were younger. So I had to realize that, oh my God, wait, the banging stopped. They leaving. Good. All right. So I had to make sure that like I set a better example for them. Because like I said, I'm 19, ready to turn 20. I can't be going down the same exact road and path that my 16-year-old little brother going down. Because I've been down it before and I already went down the path. And I know it ain't fun. So I had to let them know like it's not cool. And I had to be a motivation for them because they don't got motivational figures. They fathers not in their life. They brothers drop out. I became the motivational figure. And I became the replica of the perfect person that they supposed to be, even though I'm not a perfect person. They still replicate themselves around me in the way that I move. I'm one to keep everything calm and keep stuff normal. So that's one of the real biggest motivations I had. And then my mother didn't even think she would make it to C50. My mother 50. She didn't think that she would see me graduate due to her stomach condition and all that. And that was another thing that motivated me. She had this conversation with me. My mother was homeless and still found a way to come see me during graduation. You feel me? So that was another big motivation. If you can go back in time, what advice would you give to yourself or kids who have it? Um, if I could go back in time, what advice should I give myself? All right, cool. I would give myself the advice that save your money, save money, keep your money stacked, never go broke, never have less than $300 ever. Like not even going outside, just always keep $300 in your savings, keep on adding on. Females are not worth the trouble that they bring. Um, I love black women, but females are not worth the trouble and the drama that they bring. Uh, Everybody not your friend, and like people like don't really have your best interests at heart, but they gonna act like they do, and you gotta know when they acting and when it's actually genuine.
I love that, Missouri. I also want everyone to know that some of these boys are not worth the stress either. Boys or girls.
All the people, just some of them are just not worth it.
That want to hug up on you, kiss up on you, tell you everything under the sun. You're young, so take your time.
Yeah, honestly, take your time. It's not worth it.
All right. Isis Ilmatic said, "Do you ever feel like you embody your past losses with you?"
Like carry them with me still.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Uh, um, I post my brother every day. My brother G Sosa that died. I post my brother every day. And like I forever say you gonna live through me regardless. As long as I'm here, your spirit gonna be here, no cap. Like you gonna be here regardless. Um I carry all my I don't say I ain't gonna say a skeleton in my closet, but I carry all my dead people with me. My grandmothers, even family members I don't know. Like they here. I feel the energy. I just don't physically see them, but I know that they're here. So of course I carry it. I keep it with me all the time. I got chains with my grandmother on there, got my grandmother's name on the necklace and everything. And I wear it when I'm performing because she never saw me perform before. So that's her way of seeing me perform. I wear her name around my neck because I know she there with me spiritually, but just not physically. So yeah, I always carry my dead people with
Missouri,
me.
so you graduated high school, right? And what are some of your next steps, your next goals and dreams?
Okay, so I graduated high school. As far as music, some of my goals are having a song on the radio. I was on the radio already, but I want to have my legit own song. I was just on the radio on a featured track. I want to have my own song on the radio. I want to be signed to a bigger label in the next 5 years, more present time. On Monday, I'm going to school for CNA school and CNA training. It's an 80-hour program with 3 in-person classes on top of the preliminary. Um, and I want to then after that I'm gonna get into like being a multi-tech so I could do phlebotomy and all types of things because what I learned and what my mother taught me after this corona thing stopped, people gonna need a break. So they always gonna be hiring nurses. They already are always hiring nurses. It's not a lot of male nurses, number one. And it's also not a lot of black male nurses. So that would be groundbreaking if I just do that with my family because my family don't got kids that go to school like that. They also don't got people who have reliable jobs and have an actual career. They live paycheck to paycheck. So I'll be doing something in my family that nobody's ever really done. So So yeah, that's some of the things that's coming up. So after I do this phlebotomy and multi-tech thing, I'll be able to work with my mother as well as draw blood for other people and everything. So I'm gonna be multi-skilled. So I don't have to just stay in one, stagnant straight line. So I can branch out, do different things, and move different.
I love that, Mr. Can you just tell everyone what a CNA is if they don't know?
A certified nurse's assistant is what a CNA is. So handling all the little small tedious things like somebody come in and check your blood pressure with the little cuff jump up, the little finger thing that they be putting on your jump up. Yeah, basically doing stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So then people who help you when you go to the hospital as soon as you check in, stuff them type of people, making sure that you good, checking your vitals and everything. So that's pretty much what a CNA is.
That's great, Missouri. And I love how you say you like still be able to take care of your mom. And you say you've been doing it since you were 6. So
Yeah, I've been doing this since I was 6.
yeah, you get this certification unstoppable. You already been doing the work. So just keep going. Know that you got this. You were made for this and nothing can stop you, all right?
That's mine.
Okay. Wavy Wave said, what song was on the radio?
Um, for the Be More bar exam with keys development, we were it's this song with it's like a 5 minute song with artists from all around the city on there. It was artists from Douglas, Forest Park, Maryville, Connections, Green Street, the Squeegee Boys, Job Corps. We shot a music video. We was at Downtown Locker Room. We was on DTLR radio. We got interviewed by Square Wide. We got interviewed by Pork Chop. Can you drop your IG? Yeah, I'm gonna drop it in the Can somebody put this in the comments, Miss Simone or Miss Johnny? It's almighty.ra, all with one L, not two.
Awesome.
She said I'm going to the Air Force after. Hold on, hey guys, we got a guest visitor.
Is that mom?
Oh, Mom.
All
Hi.
right, get up.
Aw. We love mom appearances.
Of course, of course, of course. They love my appearances. But yeah, what was the question that was recently sent? I didn't even see it.
Okay, Kamala said, I'm going into the medical field after I come out of the Air Force. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to go into the medical field?
I ain't gonna lie. I only got into the medical field because I like to help people. So it's be expecting to put your pride aside and do things that you wouldn't normally do. But I know it's gonna come times I'm gonna have to wash my mother. I'm gonna have to do all types of stuff like that because she's just not gonna physically be able to do it because she's about to go undergo surgery this week actually in a couple of days. So put your pride aside and get used to doing things you're not normally used to doing. Do not be squeamish. You gotta like blood. You won't see it eventually. Um, be selfless. Like don't just make sure that you're the only person that's benefiting. Make sure that you actually enjoy your job and like doing what you genuinely doing. And don't make it seem like it's just actually a job. Think of it as a career, and then know that that's now your life, and that's the lifestyle that you live. And your lifestyle is helping people. So make sure you help as many people as you can along the way. And even if you can't help everybody, make sure you got them some type of help because you're not going to know how to do everything and you're not going to understand everything. But it's called team for a reason. You got other people around you that's definitely going to be able to explain and help you with situations that you're not going to understand. And you also have to be willing to accept that help. You can't just not want the help because it's another person trying to tell you how to do your job. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes you better is learning things and learning different skills. So that's some of the advice that I would give.
Yes. Was I don't know if you do you have your finger at the bottom of your phone? Because this is doing this little like pluck, pluck, pluck thing.
No, I don't know what it is. That's not even me.
Okay. Don't worry, honey. Don't worry. But thank you for that advice. That was wonderful. Um, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you want to share a poem or a song with the people? We need a little
All right, got you. I got you. I got a poem for you. Can you hear me still?
Yep. Missouri? Oh, geez. Get him back. Get him back. Get him back, Missouri.
Going back. Come back.
The ghetto.
Missouri.
Come back, Missouri.
Come back with this.
It's all right. He'll come back. It's happening.
Yeah.
In three.
Either
Three.
y'all today, either from Missouri or me. And you really want it from Missouri. But if I have to pull something out,
What you mean if you gotta pull something out? You got a poem, Miss Simone?
I have a little something.
You got a little something, something? Hey, yo, what?
Not really. But the show must go on. We never
Hey, yo.
have to drop some bars for us too, Miss Joni.
Yo, drop them bars, yo. Yo, Betty gonna say it's because he don't have no hoops. I'm done, yo. I'm done. I hope his phone didn't die.
I hope not either.
That's what Keith said. His phone might have died. I hope his phone ain't died.
Oh. Do you see him knocking at the door?
You gonna have to drop us some bars, Miss Simone.
Oh, gee. Why would I even play myself like that? Pretend I never said that. Let me try to find the Zoe. Let's see.
Yo, we try and get my man's Missouri back on here, yo.
His story is
Hurry up, Missouri, because if Miss Joni Raz and then Miss Simone shares a poem, then I'm gonna have to sing. And let me tell y'all don't
Who
want
said anything about any of that, yo? You go ahead and sing if that's what you want to do. Why
no,
did you
I'm
put my
just
name
saying, the show must go on, right?
Why
I
did
ain't
you
got no talent. Huh?
Why'd you put in my name and stuff, y'all? I'm not doing none of that.
She said that. She was just like, Miss Joni. She literally just said that.
Who said that?
Nothing. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Oh, because I ain't see none of that.
Don't worry about it.
I missed Missouri's phone didn't die. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Whew, y'all almost got a poem out of me. All right.
No, we gonna need that, Miss Simone.
I give up.
Definitely gonna need that. Y'all better make sure y'all badger Miss Simone for this poem. Who knew you had that talent? Who knew that?
All right, Missouri. Please don't leave us like that again. You scared us.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, we're just happy you're back.
Yeah, I ain't going to do no poem no more. I give up.
No, we don't give up. Absolutely.
No, I mean, I don't want my service to cut out again. I got an Android right now. That's probably why it's in the ghetto.
Oh, because do you have it in your notes or something?
You better use that boost like a microphone and come on.
Maybe.
What's the last thing y'all heard?
We ain't nothing.
Oh my God.
Oh, you did the whole thing? Oh no.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh.
All right. I'm gonna give you what's memorized because I just wrote it. So I'm not trying to leave the screen again. All right. When another brother becomes a hashtag, falling victim to the unfortunate circumstances we face, we used to be the supreme race. Why you mad at me? Because we ain't got the same color face. Used to get sprayed with hoses, but now we sprayed with that mace. Rather riot than protest because we taking a stand. Won't sit around while the police kill another black man. And the worst they getting is fire, not no time in the can. How old do I gotta be to no longer be considered cute, but considered a threat? They out here killing kids too. They shot Tamir in his chest. But Karen can get on camera like she all in distress. She let a white person weep the target while stabbing blacks. I guess she needed that check. Kaepernick took a knee for our rights, but George Floyd took a knee to the neck. And Black Lives Matter is just a protest to my protest. And black on black crime is not a thing because there's no such thing as white on white. Forever screaming we can't breathe as we continue to fight. We call them 12, but they ain't 12. They know the difference between wrong and right. We beat the streets with our feet, marching from day to the night. Martin Luther King was speaking his facts and he was shining his light, but they shot him on sight. And Malcolm X was spreading his thing and he was shining his light, but they got him killed on the inside, man. His own people took his life. Black Lives Matter, we know, yes. Supreme beings all over the U.S. They rather show a riot before they show a damn protest. And Black Lives Matter is just a protest to my protest. The revolution will not be televised. They don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like seeing those lights, even though that they don't know what it's like. They don't know how we live. They don't know what it's like seeing those lights, even though you were a kid. They killed Mike Brown when he was 17. He didn't get a chance to live. So why should you forever screaming at the system? Because I need freedom too.
Oh, oh, Missouri. That was powerful.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for not giving up. I can't believe you were not going to bless us with that. Thank you, Jesus.
I was definitely about to not do it because I did the whole entire poem. I was so upset.
I am so sorry, but I'm happy you came back. Thank you for never stopping. That was really deep. That was really nice.
Thank you. My service being childish.
It's okay though. We still heard you, and we listen. That's perseverance right there, because you did the whole thing, and then you just made it work. So thank you so much for blessing.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is so nice.
Any questions?
Too?
You said what?
Comments is going off. The comments is on fire. I put the question in there from Kamaya's success session. No, from Illmatic, because you answered Kamaya's success sessions. Illmatic, how do you feel caring for your mother? Differs your character from average teenage boys?
Oh, a lot of teenage boys don't have respect for black women, nor women in general. So me taking care of my mother since like a young age made me really understand the mental things that women go through, the emotional, the physical, the slander that they go through just by off of small little specific things, things that they can be considered just by one specific action. So it made me learn to respect women, and that's why I feel like it put my mindset at like a different level because I actually see what my mother goes through from time to time, and she's a disabled black woman, and not just a regular black woman. She has a disability. She's back again, by the way, guys. Um, she has a disability, like a life-threatening disability, and she's not just a regular black woman. So it made me respect women a lot more and the hustle and the dedication that black women had towards black boys. Because as I realized, I'm not gonna lie, black women definitely care for their sons more than their daughters. I'm gonna put it out there. Don't shoot the messenger. Do not shoot the messenger. A black woman will house her son in her house till he is 40 years old, just to specifically shield him from the cruel realities which the world is. And she gonna always be his rider. But girls often get put out by their mothers at a certain age. They go through other issues with their mother. So it made me respect women, and it made me respect myself because I know that I can actually do something with myself, and I'm not just the average dope boy. I'm not just the average kid on the street. I'm not just the average black man. I'm not a statistic. I'm something other than that. I was a statistic at a point in time, but now I'm not a statistic. I want to branch out and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm nothing like nobody else. Like
That's powerful. Sorry. That's really neat. Thank you for acknowledging and respecting the hard work that Black women do to love and care for their children. And that's an interesting point. I never thought about it because it's just me and my sister. I don't have any brothers. So my mom just, she gives all that to us, but I never thought what it would be like. I could imagine sometimes what it would be like to have a brother and we're all trying to make sure he's good and okay.
right.
But yeah, I appreciate you for, like you said, just coming on here, sharing your story, saying you're not going to be a statistic. No person is a statistic, first of all. Every person that's on this earth has value in their life. You can't put a number, a money value to it. It's something that you have inside of you that no one can even think or imagine that is inside of you. So for every Black boy and Black girl and person of color out there, woman, man, know that you're valuable and you matter. Don't let this world tell you what you can and cannot do. Who are they? Who? Who? Okay, sorry. Miss Mo, Miss Joni, stop because I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna be on my whole soapbox.
Yo, just because they matter though, don't keep that boy in your house till he's 40.
I know. I don't support that. I support it because yeah, love your baby boy as much as you want. But don't keep that man up to he's 40. Yo got responsibilities. He probably got kids. Like, keep it 100.
And,
Like, that's not,
and you
you
know,
don't control.
it's crazy you say that though too, because me and my sister used to say that all the time about our brother. Like my mother let him get away with stuff she would have never, ever, ever let us get away with. But then it's the same thing too with my sister because she's the youngest. And I tell my mother even to this day, like, see what happened when you don't beat your kids?
Right.
Because my youngest sister, she was the one, she didn't get beaten. She didn't come up like me and my brother. Me and my brother, we got our behinds with. Man,
No,
what we was
only
like, see what
child.
happened?
Yeah. I'm the only child, so I don't really got to deal with that. But I know situations and people who do have to deal with that, and it does not look fun at all. It doesn't look very enjoyable. So I'm glad I'm not like that. Actually, I'm glad that they forced me to live on my own and do things on my own. Because, like I said, I went through a situation recently, like towards the middle of the year. My homeboy put me, my people put me out, and I was, uh, I was living with my homeboy. They didn't call me every day. They didn't constantly check on me. They made me survive on my own. They didn't give me no money. It was like, you want to be, do what you gonna do. And I proved to them that I can really do what I gotta do. I don't necessarily need your hand out, and I don't need you to be around for me to succeed and do what I gotta handle. But like, and they understood that, and that's when they started to learn. All right, everything we instilled in them starting to show. He really is a grown man now. I'm grown in the sense mentally, like my mental state not on the same level as most 19-year-olds. Nor my mental state not even on the same level as some grown people. If we really being honest, but like I just had to prove to them. And that's why I appreciate them for putting me through the things that they put me through. Because now I know how to cope with it. I know how to move with it now. And I know that I don't necessarily have to move this way, but I can move this way. And I can both make both ways work. Like, so that's something I can actually say I do appreciate them for.
That's awesome. Okay, we always are running out of time and we got to get all the jewels today. We got 3 jewels. But I also want to know what if we keep talking about advice, but what advice specifically would you give to our Black men, young men today um that could just I don't inspire, just what do you want to say to them?
When you get stopped by the police, keep your hands visible, please. Like, keep your hands visible. Um, don't make no sudden movements. Ask, can you get your registration? Show that you're going to get your registration. Make sure you safe and cautious. It's sad that that's something I gotta say, but make sure you stay safe and cautious. Um, be yourself. Never let peer pressure, outside energy affect your circle in the way that you feel, in the way that you think about your life situation. Never let don't harp on anything too long either, because if you like if you constantly thinking about negative energy, it's always gonna have a space to be in. So you gotta push the negative, you gotta push the negative energy out, and you just gotta focus on being a better you. Like, so that's what the advice I got to the Black men or the young Black boys.
I like that. Thank you, Ms. All right, who wants to drop their jewel first? Not it.
Not it.
All right, well, I guess I'm it. I was gonna say, use your circumstance as your power and not as your excuse. Um, so Missouri got up here and told his story and is still pushing through regardless. So just use that moving forward.
Cool.
Oh, I can let you go last because this is your
I
episode.
was,
I'm gonna
I
go.
was gonna go last.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. Get me together. I was gonna say shout out to Hardcore because she always reminds me of this that you got to tell yourself every day you're worthy. And then my little spin on it: tell yourself every day that you're worthy, and then walk around and act like you are.
Right.
Actions really speak to your words.
All right. So my gym is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's one of them. And my other one is, if you can't buy it twice, don't buy it the first time. Because that means that you can't afford it if you can't buy it twice. Oh yeah, and be yourself. Be yourself too. So you got three of them. So pick which one you want to follow the most and follow that. Or follow all three. It don't really matter. So
Thank you so much, Missouri. Thank you
that's
for
mine. Appreciate you.
guest appearance, Miss Mo. We love to see you in the mornings all the time. Miss Johnny, thank you for being you.
No, thank you, Miss Simone, for putting this together, man. The countdown is on, y'all.
Oh
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I will show up to your house.
Huh?
Yo, this boy in New Jersey, so I will show up to your house.
I have a way. I have a car. My father's coming here tomorrow.
Nobody should be on 95, yo. Calm down.
I'm lying. No, my father coming today for real, for real. We'll make the trip.
Y'all are crazy. I'll see y'all, Miss Simone, tomorrow to the clock, yo.
10 o'clock. We'll be here. It's gonna be a
Thank you, Ms. Mo, for donating your spot today to
no.
our special guest speaker, getting a 2-for-1 today. So thank you so much.
Of
So
course.
we'll see you tomorrow, your normal time.
Absolutely.
Missouri,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for blessing us today.
Thank y'all.
No, man, thank you. And thank that boost for holding out.
It's not a boost. It's a Metro PCS.
Oh,
So
okay.
different.
Look, say
Different.
the same thing.
Boost bills are higher. Mine is $96. Two different. But
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for hanging in there with us and thank you for blessing us today.
of course.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Bye. Yo, what a powerful session, yo. So proud of Missouri. And shout out to They Crave K. I don't know if she's on here, but her session yesterday inspired Makaya to come and tell her story. Makaya had hit me up and said, Miss Joni, I was watching K yesterday and it just inspired me so much. So I want to get on and tell my story. So shout out to you because that's what's up. All right, y'all. We'll be back in exactly 2 minutes, right at 11, with our first guest mentor, y'all, Miss Sarah. Y'all gonna like her. Hey y'all, we are back. Let's get Miss Sarah on here, y'all. Count down to the 19th. Who ready? There she go.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey Miss Sarah, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, I'm blessed. I can't complain at all. Thank you so much for donating your time today.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I'm just glad to be here.
Man, it's always good to be in good company. So look, right, for our heartbeats who don't know who Miss Sarah is, can you do like a intro so that they can know who you are? And I'm gonna tell you now, like they like for you to spill all your little tea, whatever you got, like where you from and all that stuff. They be in people business like that.
Okay. Well, the running joke since I'm talking to y'all is that my name is Tommy because I ain't got no job, right? That's the running joke. So what I am is I'm a strategic planning and brand management consultant. I help out small businesses and community organizations throughout East Baltimore. I usually only work with people that have a community-based approach. I'm a storyteller. I'm the third Sarah in my family. The first one was my great 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 grandmother, so I always call my name a legacy name. Um, I do so many things. I do public speaking. I'm a single mom, and I really just like to help people. Like that's where everything comes from. I love helping people, and my friends fussed at me after a couple of years, and they told me that I should get paid for helping people because if you ask me, I'm just going to keep doing it for free. So, I mean, that's the reason how come I even became a consultant in the first place. Yeah.
Wow. So are you from Baltimore? Like, did you grow up in Baltimore?
Yes, I did. Um, Technically, I grew up in the county. I went to St. Catherine's. I went to St. Mary's. My mother was the principal. My grandmother was the principal. So I always went to school and stayed in the city and just never slept here. And then, yeah, I moved in the city when my son was born for a little bit.
Okay. West Side?
Yep, off of
Yeah,
Rogers
yeah.
Avenue.
Yeah, yeah. Right in the ghetto. We love it.
Right.
We love it.
Exactly.
So look, right, can you break down some of these words for us? Because I think when people hear, like strategic and consulting and planning, like sometimes, especially young people, we have an idea of what it may be, but we really don't know like what it is. So when you say strategic planning, like what exactly is that? And what exactly is a consultant?
Okay, so strategic planning, right, is when you start thinking about something like most of the time, say, you map out your day. You might schedule out your day, say, I might need to go to the grocery store, I got to go to work, I got to do this thing. Your strategic planning person will mark it and map out your stuff for the next month or the next 3 months or the next 6 months. With some organizations, you want to make sure you have a good 3 to 5 year plan in place. So we're the people that help you figure out what that looks like. Because sometimes when we start thinking about what we want to do, all we think about is day to day. And we want to make sure that while we're doing this work that we grow from where we are to where we want to grow. So that's what you do. You have to plan out your stuff. And since sometimes it's hard for us to conceptualize because we're doing everyday work, you hire somebody to help you figure out what that would look like and to voice what you have in your head already and puts it on paper. It makes it look pretty for you because we already have the vision. We just need somebody to help us execute that vision that we have. A consultant is a really fun word. I love the word consultant. The word consultant is basically giving somebody advice that they don't already know.
Hmm.
So that's really all a consultant is. You're telling somebody something that they don't know. So whenever you have somebody say, I don't know, can you help me with this? Or how do you do this? Or what are you working? Know that there are people that get paid hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to tell businesses and organizations something that they might not know. It's a great word to use. That's the way that I always like to break it down because it's a lot easier to be a consultant than what people think. And people put so much on that word.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, talk to us about this. You would do it for free stuff. Like, come on now. You doing all this work, helping people build. It sounds like, well, I know that it's a lot of work that's
It
into
is a
that.
lot of work.
So, talk to us about how you arrived at doing it free. and like where you are with that situation.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, he asked me to go into my story now. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
told you they like to know people business.
I will tell y'all. So when I was 21, I had my first son, and I was very, 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 very spoiled, right? So I had this kid, and I had like no idea how I was going to take care of him. I did not know what a Walmart was. I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to provide for him the designer clothes that I think he is supposed to have. That's how spoiled I was in my way of thinking. So I had this kid. I was by myself, and right around the time that I had him, we had a recession. So not only did I stop working because I was unhealthy, my parents stopped working too because they lost their jobs. So it was, three unemployed individuals, and then we wound up having to move into someone else's house, which was my aunt's house. And that's, my father got a job. My mother continued to help out, and I could not work. And here I was with this baby that was almost a year old, stuck in this house, not being able to work because at the time the aunt's house that we moved into was in Martinsburg, West Virginia. There's no buses in Martinsburg, West Virginia, y'all. Okay, there's no bus system. It's a bunch of hills. Any place you want to go is at least 10 minutes driving distance in the car, and it's through some woods. It's not that far away. It's right past Hagerstown, but you can't. It's very hard to navigate. It's nothing walkable there. So I moved back to Baltimore with my son on his first birthday. I said a little prayer because I knew my parents could help me, and I went into a shelter, and I stayed in the shelter for 6 months with my son.
In
And I got
Baltimore?
in Baltimore, in Baltimore. And so what happened was I noticed like I prayed about it. So I wasn't worried about what was going on. So, it's like you go different places. I'm still having on my, my good attitude, good morning, how you doing, what y'all doing today? I waited until my son took naps. And then I would go on a computer and do my searches. I was getting my public assistance and everything that you got to go through. And I noticed that when I was going through that system, if I asked the right questions, you get different responses, right? So you go in, you ask about food stamps. Oh, we don't, I just had my son. I have all of my information. We don't have A, B, C, D, and E. So can we get this? Yeah. So I figured, I found out about that. I found out about making sure my bills were paid off before I got, went to my house to help me secure my housing. They had a vehicles for change program at that time where if you had, a small amount of money, you could get a running vehicle. Small things like that they don't necessarily always advertise to the public. And the more questions you ask, the more help you get. I also noticed that sometimes because I was in a good mood all the time, people treated me differently. Like one time when I was there, someone didn't approve my food stamps application, I guess because she thought I was nice. They called me a bougie homeless person. I'm just like, I don't understand how you can be bougie and you don't have a place to live. Like, I mean, I don't even know how that goes together. Like, what should you put your stuff like on your back all the time? But so
Wow.
so I found out from that process that if you can adequately think your way through what you're doing and you can put your goals out and you continue to make sure that you are paying attention to what's going on with the people, what's going on in the room, and how you're processing your things, that you can get access to different things. And I never forgot that lesson. I carry that with me still. So as I started moving through my career and helping out people, I got to be a director of operations for my friend's nonprofit because she wanted help. I started being a program manager for one of my friends' organizations because they wanted help. And it was because they didn't always know what questions to ask. It went straight back to that process. How do we get from point A to point B if we don't know what to do? And you can always do that research to make sure that you know what getting from point A to point B is. And I have this really cool friend named Danielle Terrain who was working at KC at the time. It is now the director of the Open Society Institute. She pulled me aside one day. I was working in East Baltimore for TRC, which is the Middle East Truth and Reconciliation Community Council. And she's just like, Sarah, you are doing program management work. You are doing community work. You are doing all the invoices. You're processing all the checks. You're running all the meetings because you know how to get from point A to point B. Like, sis, you consultant. I need you to understand and know that you're a consultant.
Wow.
And we need you to start looking for consultant jobs. And I'm just like, you think I'm a consultant like you? Because like, if you know Danielle, like she's so important. She's such a beacon of light. And so it's like, I'm just like, you think that I'm cool enough to be a consultant like you? Well, I'm calling myself a consultant, then I'm a consultant because Danielle said so.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's my story. And that's how I came to start being a consultant. I learned from, you can use that in, in different places. And it can still be used from working with regular people on the ground all the way up to, boardrooms. People still need a consultant.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you have a lot of questions jumping off in the comments. I'm about to get to some of these questions because these heartbeats, man, they got some good questions.
Okay.
Cam says, um, did that moment put your reality into perspective? And can you talk about how it was living in a shelter?
It was different. Um, Living in a shelter was definitely different, and it definitely helped put my reality into perspective because it's nothing easy about being in a shelter.
Yeah.
It can be very hard. You're worried about whether you're going to stay there. You're worried about if you're going to get out. You're worried about if your stuff is going to be safe. Um, the thing that I was thankful for at the time was that I always used to sing to my son. So if you see him like it, or me with any of my kids, I'm usually always dancing, laughing, and singing around with him. Like I would sing with him on the bus. I would sing with him at night. I was always singing and dancing with my son so that he wouldn't be scared or wouldn't be worried about his surroundings. So he doesn't even remember it. He doesn't remember any of it at all. And I know sometimes, as you're getting older, it can be a hard thing to be a child in a shelter and want to go over your friend's house and not be able to get there because you have to be in a shelter at a certain time to make sure that you're asleep.
Mm.
It can be a very hard thing to manage to make sure that you just have a place to lay your head. But it's the basis of making sure you're straight because if you've been in one, you don't want to go back to one. So
Yeah.
you always push to make sure that you never get back to that place. Um, for me, it helped put my reality into perspective because it helped me grow a lot. I went from being a very spoiled child to learning how to use the bus system, learning how to get around from point A to point B, making sure that I'm relying on all of my resources. It made me very aware of what I had to do and who I had to surround myself with in order to make sure that I made it out of my situation. So I grew up very quickly and became self sufficient, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Kim's follow up is, what was the importance of a positive mindset and a positive attitude in your life? And then Bree says, looking back at your past, what is something you wish you could change?
The importance of having a positive attitude and a positive mindset, it keeps you moving forward. Because you know that you want to keep going, you want to push through. And as a matter of fact, I still use that as advice. Always make sure that you push through, make sure that you accomplish your goals and what you need to do. Because if you stop sometimes and you think about that when you're in that situation, you might get stuck there.
Yeah.
So the importance of having a positive mindset is not letting those things weigh you down. Never letting them weigh you down at all. Um, what was the second question again?
About your past, if it was something that you could change. Bree asked that.
If it was something that I could change about my past, you know what? Before, I would say I would have changed my path and I would have finished college because before I got
Mm.
pregnant with my son, I was a chemistry pre-medicine major. All of my friends know that I am a whole nerd on the inside. So you can ask me questions about just about anything, and I usually know about it or I have an answer to it. My other friends call me Google. So I probably would have finished my degree, but at the same time, right now I'm doing just about everything nonprofit and community service based. I would not be using it if I had it. I'm in a completely, totally different career field now. I think that's the only thing that I would change.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, David says, how were you able to stay focused while going through so much? And how do you now use your past to help you? That was Bree.
I stayed focused because of my son. So when you become a parent, right? it's really crazy. You wind up having, like this little tiny baby that you love so much, that you know that you are responsible for. And some, they can't even talk yet, y'all. Like, you get them and they're just fussing and they're pooping and crying and doing everything, and you know that you're the only person that is there. Um, and so when you know that this person is relying on you, not just for food and clothes and shelter and safety, but they're relying on you to make sure that they make it through elementary, middle, and high school. Make sure they have their allowance. Make sure when they hit their milestones, you can show up and have the things that they need. It gives you a whole different drive than what you would have by yourself. Sometimes, your kids will motivate you to get out to bed in the morning.
Mm.
You know about, what they have planned, sometimes what they need to do. And you're just like, you know what, all right, I'm gonna get up. I'm tired, but I'm gonna get up anyway. And that's what motivated me, because I knew that I couldn't do any of those things if I just stayed still.
Yeah. Um, Kamaya got a pretty deep question. She says, when you were living in the shelter with your son, did it ever make you feel like you were less of a mother because you weren't able to provide his wants and needs at that time?
The only time that it made me feel like less than a mother was when his father's parents offered to keep him for me.
Mm.
They I had asked them beforehand if I could, stay with them for a little bit, because their father, Jabari's father, wasn't living here at the time. He was living in Georgia. And I said, I just need to, a little bit, to make sure I have my job, to get on my feet. And they said, that they weren't able to help. So I said, okay, this is fine. And then when they found out, where I was, they said, well, we'll take Jabari. And I'm just like, well,
Wow.
what do you mean you'll take Jabari? Jabari is still breastfeeding because I nursed my son. He's still going through, these different things.
Yeah.
What about me? How is he going to get, what he needs if I'm not taken care of? And they were just like, well, we'll see what we can do. And that's no shade against them. I love his family. They're some of the biggest supporters I have over the years. Like Miss Cheryl, let me come over and do, lots of things with her and come over her house and everything. We still have a great relationship. I still can call them. It's just that one time I was just, that's the only time I felt less than.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Hmm.
Um, David said, can you talk about how you were able to use your problems as motivation to get where you are now? And Ari said, can you tell us how to keep that positive mindset through all that? And how were you able to do it?
So my friends laugh at me about it. My very first thing that I do to keep me motivated is breathing.
Mm.
So if something happens, if something goes on, the first thing that I always reflect back to is making sure that I'm taking deep breaths. Take a
It's
deep
that
breath
simple.
before I process my answer. Yeah, it is, because sometimes, people say things they're not supposed to say, and you just want to fly off on you. Wait a minute, let me take my breath before I say what I need to say. Or, somebody else will say something, or you'll see the news, like when the protest started going on,
Yeah.
even here, first thing you gotta do, take a deep breath, because you have to watch what you say. You have to watch how you say it. You have
Mhm.
to watch what's going on. And some of the ways that you can just kind of process all that before you talk or you type is by making sure that you're taking deep breaths to process what's going on first.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing I did is what a lot of leaders do. I started writing down what I wanted.
Mm.
I started writing down what I wanted, and I saw it every day, and I started checking off what I needed to do to get to each one. And believe it or not, they have whole tasks for organizations and companies, y'all, where they figure out each task and they write it down one by one. And then after they list how they're going to get to each task. That's how organizational management is, when
Wow.
you do different projects. So if you're doing that in your day to day, that's a big deal. And that's a good thing. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's one of the main ways that I stay focused. I always made sure that I did my list. I made sure that when I did get my little bit of money, I made sure that I kept my budget so that I got what I needed. Because if you're on public assistance, it's not like somebody's gonna come and give you extra. Like once you out, you out. So
Mm-hmm. That's
you
it.
get your you get your needs first. Make sure you cover everything that you must have, and then you start filling in what you need to after that to make sure that you accomplish your goals. Mm-hmm.
And when you were writing, was that a combination of journaling too, or just kind of listing things out?
Journaling and tasks. Journaling and tasks. Yeah. Because it's a lot of feelings that sometimes get pent up um, when you can be in different situations. And so, you just need to write sometimes just to let those feelings out. But for the most part, yeah, journaling and tasks.
Yeah, no, I love it. Kamaya says, do you attend church? And if so, which church? Or have you ever partnered with KIP or some type of school organization?
Um, so I forgot to tell you guys that I teach.
I told you they need
I
to know
told
all
you.
your little bit of business.
So I teach basically soft skills and financial literacy.
Wow.
Their financial literacy curriculum right now is to teach with I am mentality. I just had my first class yesterday, and I also do out of school time.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I also do out of school time teaching soft skills, different things with my friend Tony in the B.org. So I definitely do that as well. And I come from a very long line of educators. Um, the church that I attend is at the Captives Free Outreach Center. And she is a joy, Dr. Karen Bethia, to be under. Um, I love her. Definitely going to her church. Her church I actually went to for the first time when I was in the shelter.
Hmm.
So it always holds a very important place in my heart to me.
And which age group are you working with?
I have worked with as young as second grade to I think one of the boys on the call yesterday was 13. So I guess that would make it second to eighth grade.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Um, Cam says, how did you feel when gaining control of your situation again after feeling like you were controlled?
Felt so good and
Mhm.
so accomplished. It was amazing for me personally just to be able to see that I was able to do what I set out to do. It's so many times where we think about, starting a plan and, saying we're going to get here and then being stubborn enough to see that complicated plan all the way through. It's amazing and it's liberating. It's
Mhm.
liberating. Like I remember when I went into the house, we finally secured the house. Me and my best friend wound up living together. I love her. She's still my best friend. I still would live with her. We were roommates with our babies when we were single moms, and that was where I moved to when I moved out of the shelter. We lived together in our first apartment. And I just remember we got the keys and I went and I just laid on the floor.
Wow.
Because my goal at that time, I got into the shelter around April and we got our house around October. And I was just like, I am finding a house before it gets cold outside. I refuse to go through this when it's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
So that was my goal. I'm getting someplace to live before it's snow on the ground because my son's not going through this when it's cold.
No, that's right.
Did it? Yeah.
Kamaya says, what's your opinion on discipline versus motivation? Kamaya, you know I love that question.
Ooh, I love both of them. I love both of them. Um, it depends on the type of child you have. I know a lot of kids don't want to hear that, so you have to use different discipline and motivation methods for each child because each child that you have is a personality, and they can't always take the same amount of discipline that the other one does. So, like the 11-year-old that I have now, he is a joy. Um, well, let me start by saying first, I instill joy in them first. They always know who they are, they know whose they are, they are proud of the top of their heads to the soles of their feet. I praise them until they're forever about how good they look, how nice they smell, what they got on. Like I want my kids to have all the self confidence so that when they go out into the world and somebody else tells them something,
Yeah.
they'll just be able to deflect it. So I'm all for motivation all the time. And my son got that lesson real good, but then sometimes he forgets that he's supposed to pull back a little bit, you know. he, so every once in a while I gotta reel it back in,
Uh-huh.
a great example of this. I have him in therapy right now, and sometimes I go. We went in therapy last summer, and he was getting in trouble in the class because he wasn't listening. He just felt like doing his own thing in class. He was still doing his work. He just wouldn't pay attention. And the counselor, she said, "Well, Jabari, how come you're not paying attention? Don't you want the teacher to think highly of you?" And he said, "When did it become my business to know what the teacher thinks of me? I don't care what she thinks." And as adults, for us to say that we don't care about what other people think, that's fine. Because we want to make sure that we have that self-awareness. But I need him to remember that that's who grades his papers and gives him his grades in middle school. So I had to tell him, care about what your teacher thinks. So because your grades are a reflection of who you are right now as a person. Like, I mean, I know that you're good. I know that your spirit is good, but I want everybody that comes across you to love you and to care about you and push you as hard as I do. And right now, your grades are the reflection of that. So you got to keep moving forward. And the counselor, she's like, "That's a good answer, Miss Wallace." Because he asked her, she said, that's a good question, Jabari. She was ready to just let it rock. We not letting this rock. Wait a minute.
Say, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wavy Way said, did any of your friends know about what happened, and did any of them step in to try to help?
A couple of my friends did. I think the hard thing about being 21, if you're homeless, is that almost everybody is still living at home with their parents, or they literally are just moving out on their own. And if they're just moving out on their own, that means they're still using their parents' money. That's what that means, if they're just moving out on their own. So a lot of them necessarily weren't in a position to help, or what they would say is ask your parents for money, which I couldn't do at that time. The other part of that is, if you are that old and you have a baby, it's not so many people. If hey, I'm coming around, I'm 21, I have a baby, I just need to figure out what I'm doing for the next couple of months, with me and the baby. A lot of adults, they're like, "Well, wait a minute, you and the baby?" Like, I know if it's you, but the baby too is very few individuals that can help in that situation. And I don't hold it against them. Everybody has their own walk. Just because they weren't able to physically be there doesn't mean that they didn't call me, didn't check on me. If I needed help or I needed a ride, people would still show up. It's just I literally physically could not sleep at their house.
Yeah. No, that's tough, but I definitely get that. Ilmatic says, how did you find out about manifesting through journaling?
How did I find out about manifesting through journaling? Believe it or not, I didn't even know that I was manifesting probably until years later what I wanted.
Wow.
I was just right. I always just had a thing where I would write out my dreams and where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do, and I would just write it down and I would look at it. I did not know that actually was a thing until years later. Manifest the way you want to be.
Wow. That is crazy. Bree says, do you have any tips for someone starting to journal? And what do you mainly talk about when you journal?
The main tips that I would give someone starting out when you journal, if it's hard for you, start out with a gratitude journal. Just, because sometimes, we go through the day and things happen. And I mean, we always say all the time, like, are we going to let this little 5 or 10 minutes ruin our day? Well, sometimes we might. And it's okay to be in a bad mood. It's okay to process your feelings. And, sometimes at the end of those bad days, just thinking of 3 simple things that you're thankful for can just pull in those things. They can help you sleep at night. Because I'm somebody where, my feelings affect me. So if I'm angry or upset, I can't sleep. I'm up. I'm sitting up like this, mad. So I need to process. Think of 3 small things that you're happy for that day. You can start out just by writing with that. You can elaborate from there. You can talk about what you're mad about. If you're really angry, you need to put all your feelings on paper. You can put them all on paper, and then you can say goodbye to those feelings by burning that paper. It's
Hmm.
um it's a lot of ways that you can take journaling and process it to make it work for you. Um, and it's really no wrong way to do it. If you want to write every day, you can write every day. If you want to write when you're feeling something, you can write when you're feeling something. As long as you're getting it out, so that it's not sitting and steeping inside of you and
Yeah.
building up to something else. As long as you're getting those feelings out, there's no wrong way.
Yeah, and that's very important. So a lot of our heartbeats are doing like a lot of different things. Most of them are very productive. We got some that ain't doing too much, and they know that they could be doing more. But for the most part, a lot of them that either like working on their own businesses or building their own brands, have multiple projects that they're doing. Like, what's like some advice or some best practices that you can give people in order to kind of keep themselves on track, help keep some of the stress down, and just for them to just be able to be productive in the state where they are, especially considering, that they are teenagers doing more than some adults that I know.
Amazing. Well, first of all, it's amazing for you guys for doing all of that work because I know I was not doing half of it when I was you guys' age. So kudos for y'all to being so productive, man. It's a lot of people that's rooting for y'all. That's really really proud of y'all. Sometimes that you don't even see or meet. But we're here and we're watching and we're rooting for you if you need help. Like just know that. Um, the easiest thing for me, I have a practice where I don't get out of bed without actually breathing in the morning. Like I said before, always, if you can, almost everybody has a Gmail account. So if you have your tasks for the day, I know that I would die without my calendar. Put your stuff in your calendar so that you can see it and that you don't forget it. That way, if you have the location, if you have the time, if you know the business, put it all in there so that you have it. And that way, when the time comes, in case you forget or an emergency happens, you can always go to your calendar, look at it, look for the location, use the directions to get there, and while you're at it, use everything else in Google Suite. You can put your notes in Google Docs. You can put your PowerPoint slides in Google Slides. You can make your spreadsheets for your QuickBooks and Excel, and they have templates for all of those things that are free in Drive. I actually did a class last week called the Google Suite Ropes, but we just literally just went over every single thing that you can use in Google just for your business. It's an app in there called Jamboard. You can make little sticky notes if you're doing an interactive exercise. You can write down what you're doing and how you want to do it. Put the ideas up there because we're not supposed to be meeting in person anymore. So you can use Jamboard, to have those types of interactive activities that you want to have. Um, all of that stuff is good as long as you remember the password to your email. As long as there's a Wi-Fi connection or wherever you're going, if you have a quick presentation or something like that, you can pull it up on your phone, link it to somebody's computer, or log into the computer there, and you have it. You don't have to worry about it being compatible with any system. That would be the advice that I would give. Use the free stuff that you have at your fingertips to make sure that your business goes as productive as possible.
There you go. Use that free stuff.
Yes.
So with everything that's happening, just around the world, like how has that impacted your business, if any, and like what are some of the things that you would say that you're doing personally, in order to try to help or contribute in any type of way?
So with everything going around the world, COVID-19, it's hampered a couple of projects, but thankfully, most of my stuff has gone virtual. So it hasn't been a true loss to me. The only loss I have is not being outside. I love running around, y'all. I will work outside. I will go sit outside with some Wi-Fi at a restaurant in a Panera Bread in Baltimore City. Like I really don't. If it's a Wi-Fi on the table, you might catch me outside working. Okay, so COVID-19 has impacted me because I gotta be in the house, and I'm happy I'm in the house because I have more time with my children, but I would have them out there chilling on that tablet too while I'm doing my work. I would. So I miss being outside. I miss seeing my friends and just having some of those collaborative sessions. But I'm thankful that I still have an income because there's a lot of people that don't right now. or working hard to try to get one. So I'm really thankful to be in the position I'm in because I've still been okay and I've been able to still pay my bills these past couple of months. Um, as far as the unrest that's going on around George Floyd and other people, Monday I was out. Saturday, me and my friends we were monitoring the lives just in case we had to go out and had to go pick up any of you guys because we know sometimes as young adults we feel so inspired to be about some change. We might not necessarily tell our parents where we're going and what we're doing, And so I know this weekend one of my mentees called me. He wound up going out to go protest, and he didn't tell his mama. So he was like, there's no Ubers coming down here. I need a way home. So we had to, go out and get him. Ain't nobody gonna be stuck down there in case something happens. So, I alerted my friends and my organizer friends to that. And on Monday, all of us were out in different capacities just to make sure everybody was okay. Like some of us were up on stage speaking. Some of us were being eyes just to make sure nobody, wanted to do any harm. Some of us were, just monitoring the crowds just to make sure nobody looked suspicious. It was a lot of community people out in plain clothes on Monday just to make sure, that everybody was safe because nobody's doing anything to any of our babies. Just because I birthed you doesn't mean that I don't have more. And I'm not letting nothing happen to nobody. So that's what I've been doing. I realized a lot of people have PTSD from 2015 because I know a lot of organizers and community people, we've been, just kind of checking in and saying, what, we know you're upset, but make sure you eat, make sure you drink water, make sure you sleep. Because we get so worried about what's going on that, sometimes we don't take care of ourselves. So I've tried to be intentional about that. And I've just tried to stay as connected and plugged in because if you're up and you're at the protest or if you're helping out in another capacity, some of us, we have to take turns because we start to get older, we get a little tired. So just checking in to make sure, who's on the ground, who's taking a turn, just to make sure it's always somebody out is the real goal. Because we want to make sure nothing happens to anyone. We don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. Yeah, no, that's important. Thank you so much for that. Ilmatic says, do you practice meditation? And if so, do you believe that practice has helped you through hardships in life?
I do practice meditation. It's a new practice. I started with yoga because I love yoga, y'all. Oh my goodness. I do.
Wow.
And I am not a skinny person. Okay.
Hey,
so
yo.
I'm not a skinny person. And I will be out there yoga and everything, doing my little warrior poses. Okay.
What is it with yoga? Why do you like it?
I like yoga because it teaches you how to breathe. It goes back to breathing. Like when you're doing the yoga poses, you have to inhale, you have to exhale, you have to make sure that you stay focused, you have to maintain that zen in order to make sure that you can make it all the way through yoga. And when you first start, you might not be inhaling, you inhale and exhale a little bit faster. Do what they tell you you're supposed to be in front of the class, okay? But but when you get it, it's so much fun. It's fun and it's relaxing and it just helps you flow. It helps you flow so much better. And then when you actually meditate and give your brain and mind the time just to process these things in that space, you wind up having a better day. It makes you more relaxed. It makes sure that less things get to you. I'll put it that way. Like smaller things don't bother you anymore. You're just like, wait a minute, I'm in a good mood. I put my aura out for the day. You're not coming over here with that. You're not gonna make me be upset, and you can keep it together. And I love that part. That's what it teaches you. And that's really important to have when you're younger, because when I was young, I wasn't always that nice. So and I'm still quick with my older friends. I'm still quick to say what I feel and what's on my mind. So because that's the part that doesn't really go away no matter how old you get. You keep your personality. So it helps you be able to present yourself in a different light. Instead of saying, catch me outside, you might say, I would love to see your follow up on that. I would love to see you think that through. Let me know what that looks like when you finish. Contact me instead of catch me outside. Yeah.
Is Is it like a workout? Like, does it give you like that same feeling that you're doing kind of like those same things?
Yoga, it does.
Okay.
It's just slower, believe it or not, because sometimes holding that position that you're in it takes work. It takes a lot of core strength, to be able to keep it up and to be able to hold those positions.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Because people keep
believe it
telling
or
me I should try it, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's whenever outside opens back up, I hope that soon. Michelle Stafford has a free class. She has one on Saturdays at No Boundaries, and on Sundays at Umar Box, and it's completely free. So you can try it if you want, and then go back if you don't like it. And
okay.
then who else has one? Free Baltimore Yoga has outside classes too. But yeah, it's a different feeling, believe it or not. I've also started hiking since we've been in the house, just to get outside. That's
Yes.
been
Now,
an
see that I can
experience.
do. See, I do my little 3 miles. I do my little pull-ups, my push-ups, my weights and stuff like that. I'm like that
Hmm.
type of person. And when the gym open back up, I'm straight back in the gym on every machine. I'm on all the machines.
Well, then I'll come to the gym with you if you try
I,
yoga with me because me and the gym are not friends.
oh no,
Me and
no,
the gym,
yeah, man, you gotta
I
be friends
like
with the gym.
Yeah, I like being outside. I'll do all of my weights and everything. I would rather be outside in somebody's park. And I also don't like heat. So I'll be out there at like 7 a.m. before it gets
Oh,
hot, doing
oh
stuff outside in the
no.
park.
I'm only outside because I have to be, but
Okay.
no, put me on that treadmill all day.
Okay. Okay. I will try the treadmill just because you said try the treadmill, Miss Joni.
All right, bet. That's what we're gonna do on the
Okay.
highest incline.
Yeah. Yeah. That is hilarious.
Cam said, has it ever been a time where your caring heart has put you in a bad situation? Ooh, Cam, I like that.
Oh, bless your heart, Cam. I'm
It's
a
a
single
good
mother of
question.
2 children. Okay. I told that somebody else asked me about that. They said, I'm tired of being nice. What happens? I said, who was I talking to? He was telling me, he was going through a tough time and he didn't know what being tough felt like. And I'm just like,
Mm,
you're talking to a single mom, right? Like, I feel like sometimes we forget about that part. I mean, granted, I have a village. My parents are right here with me. Jabari's father, I can call it a drop of a hat. If it's an emergency, my kids have godparents. But the fact that you brought two people into the world and it didn't necessarily work out the way that you wanted it to,
yeah.
it can be taxing as a person. And you have to be honest and you have to admit that. Granted, I'm still making a way out of no way. I love my kids. I wouldn't trade them for the world. And I'm so very, very happy that they're here. I wouldn't trade them for anything. Um, but I definitely worry about the amount of love that I have, if it's always going to be enough for them as they grow older and we progress. And I'm a parent that talks to my kids, so if they want to talk about it, we can talk about it, and talk about what happened. I'm also good at making sure that I always have an objective point of view.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I'm one of the ones that says, well, this happened because this person isn't here, you know. I always let them come to their own conclusions because I'm very strict on not trying to force, any opinions that I have on my children. Um, but it's, I would say that's definitely sometimes where my kindness was maybe taken for granted or
Yeah.
where something didn't work out, the way that I thought. Um, so now, as a result of that, because most of the time I am a nice person, I'm just like, just because I'm kind does not mean that I'm weak.
Mm-hmm.
Please make sure you understand that. Like, it's a whole difference. Don't think you can walk all over me just because I'm a nice person. My kindness has a limit. Okay.
Exactly.
And everybody's like, we would never. Yeah, okay. Don't piss me off then. You won't ever see it as long as you don't piss me off. And it takes, and thankfully, due to, my yoga and my journaling.
You said to my
Okay.
yoga.
And in my meditation, I'm pissing me off takes a whole lot more than it used to. But once I'm upset, if I have my line drawn, it's drawn. It's going to take a lot to get back on my good side.
Yeah.
So Thankfully, I'm so nice that just about nobody ever sees that line, but it's there, and I make
Yeah,
sure people know it's there very nicely.
yeah, I definitely feel you on that. Definitely
Yeah.
feel you on that. So like, um, black mothers right now are terrified, like
Hmm.
especially those who have black sons. Can you talk just a little bit from the perspective, of a black mother raising black boys, um, just how you're feeling and what you're feeling right now, and then Cam has a question too that I think can kind of be tied into this. Her question is, how do you define a broken home, and what impact would you say a broken home has on children? Like, what's the importance of having a stable family?
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get my plug.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
take your time. You can't die on us. Not right now. Not on this question.
So right now, what I would do is the first question was what? Can you tell me the first question one more time? You said
Yeah,
black
can you
mothers are
just
terrified, right?
yeah, uh-huh. So can you just talk a little bit about the perspective that black moms are feeling like right now, especially during this time?
I think black mothers right now, we're making sure that we love on our children. Because when we are constantly aware, especially of me having, my son's almost as tall as me. For a long time, I would not let my son have wear black hoodies. I purposely wouldn't let him wear black hoodies because I was just so worried about what was going on. Um, oh, somebody's upset. Come on, Eden. My daughter just came in. She's mad about something.
Hey.
It's okay.
Hey, baby girl.
Look, say hi. Say
You on TV.
hey.
A bunch of kids watching you right now.
It's okay. It's okay. Yes.
Your mommy pushed me on the bed.
He did. Okay. I'm gonna get him as soon as I finish. Okay. Okay. Can
We're
you
gonna
sit here
send
with
some
me?
heartbeats over there to get them.
Look, she said they're gonna send somebody over here to get him. You want her to send somebody? She said, yeah.
Heartbeats is on it, baby girl. Don't you even worry
Okay.
about it.
So this is my daughter Eden. She's the famous 5-year old.
Hey, baby girl.
She said, hey, hey, hey.
Bye.
Yep, there you
You got a
go.
5.
Mm-hmm. So I would say right now we're just black mothers are just very vigilant about making sure that we hold on to, we protect, and we value our children. But making sure that we tell them what's going on, as hard as it may be, and we're making sure that they know that they matter. We're making sure they know they have value. We're making sure that they know that, and also educating them on their rights and what to do. I know before I go out and organize.
Mama,
Yes.
my headphones broke the bed. They one of the part of stopped. My headphones came off, and I don't know how it got off.
Okay. Mommy's gonna fix it at 12 o'clock. Okay. Okay. Before I go out and I organize, I always tell my son what's going on. And I let him know what's happening. We talked about Black Lives Matter. We talked about, when it started. We talked about Trayvon Martin, because I want him to be very clear on, the reason how come I'm out. I also want him to know, if he wants to see it or wants to see certain things, I'll let him come. Um, and I just thought it was crazy because before I left out, he would just go, okay. And I had to talk with him a couple of days ago. And when I went out on Monday, his response was, stay safe, mom. And I was just like, my 11-year-old is telling me to be safe. Like, that's crazy before I leave out.
What's that white thing?
That white thing is the camera light so that I'm lit up. And what was the second question?
Yeah, Cam wanted you to talk about broken homes. So, like, how do you define a broken home, and what impact would you say that a broken home has had on children? Like, what's the importance of having a stable family?
I would say that a broken home is an unstable family. And I'm just want to say that's just my personal opinion. I'm very very thankful that my kids have my parents Jabari has two sets of grandparents. It's not a space that both of my kids can't come into. Even if I'm going to a function, for my son's family, my daughter can come. Um, so I don't think they realize that. And even though, me and his father don't always, agree, get along, don't think we're not tag teaming when it comes to our son. So, something happens, he already knows, his father will know, his stepmother will know, and whatever rules at my house apply over there. Same thing with Eden when she goes someplace, with her godparents or with someone else, whatever rules that I say, that's what goes, regardless of what house you're in. So it's not as though they're going to an extremely different environment whenever they leave to go someplace else. Um, Another thing is that I'm so 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 thankful for my village. Like if an emergency happens, sometimes say I'm over in Hopkins and something happens with my son over in West Baltimore, I can call somebody. Hey, go get my son.
No,
Hey,
that's
go
right.
get my daughter. Hey, this emergency happens. Can you pick them up? and
Mhm.
and they always laugh because whenever I turn in my forms for school, it's 9 or 10 people on these emergency contact lists because I'm going to make sure that they know about every single last person that might show up to get my kids. And they're just like, Miss Walsh, you have a lot of paperwork. And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I'm glad I have a lot of paperwork. And y'all want to take all of it. Y'all better check them IDs too. So I would, it's always better to have more people because, sometimes the kids won't release them if they don't have the right idea. They're not written down. So they're going to have everything from me.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that I have so many people that I can pull on in the event of a crisis or emergency, for my kids. And I think that's what makes it not broken, in my opinion. The fact that, I can do that and I have that support around me.
Yeah. Um, Omatic got a deep question for you. She says, do you feel like your children's father would have been as successful as you with your hardships if he had to handle those?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
tough.
That's a great question. I have to ask them and see what they say. I would have to ask them to see. Um,
Yeah.
my son's father is an airplane mechanic, and my daughter's father was in a very very different space. So I'm not sure. He used to be a manager. I know that he was and he's still a manager, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a deep question. Omatic always getting us with the deep questions. So look, we have some
Girl,
young parents, like teenage parents. What type of advice would you give them,
Camera.
with this journey of parenting at such a young age?
The advice that I would give if you don't have family and friends, start a mommy group. Make sure
Mm.
that you have a mommy group. What's the Tyler Perry movie? I agree with some of his movies. The Tyler Perry movie where the Single Moms Club. That's it. If you can't, because you need your breaks. As a mom doing stuff all the time, if you're a young parent in and out, you need your breaks. So even if you guys have to combine and watch, those 4 or 5 kids while that one mom gets a break that weekend, start that rotation circle so that you can start your personal village and you can have that backup and support. Because once you have that trust there, it's you can build from that. And sometimes, we think we don't need it as moms. We worry about our kids when they're not with us and everything. But if you can just take that little bit of time and just focus, even if you just use it to take a nap and sleep, take that free time. Always appreciate your time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important. That is so
Yeah,
important.
yeah, 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 mama.
I know, baby girl, I know. Them heartbeats on the way to come help you out. I already know it. So, Sarah, this has been an amazing conversation. I got to ask you this one last question. It's the question we ask everybody who come through. And that is, if you had to leave us with one jewel, what would you leave us with?
Oh man, if I had to leave you with one jewel, I would say figure out your purpose and move from there.
Mommy,
That to me was so important.
Mommy,
Yes.
what's her name?
Miss Joni, give me 1 second. Whatever your purpose is, figure out your purpose and move on it because I know I know I'm passionate about helping people, and I don't think I would be on this trajectory had I not been through what I've been through. And so I know that it's my purpose. I know it's my calling, and I love standing in my calling. Like I don't even think, oh yeah, y'all, I'm a 2019 BNLP fellow. I don't think I would even have been that without my calling. You know, so knowing what your powers are, knowing what your purpose is, and moving forward it's so important. And so as long as you have that, you'll be fine. It'll follow you the rest of your life, and you'll be so happy that you stayed on point. And
That's
know that you
awesome.
have all these people caring for you. We love y'all so much.
Yes. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah. Everybody's saying your baby is so cute. I
Thank
see.
you.
I have bubble.
I see. Them
That
heartbeats
she
gonna come and
sees.
blowing for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have Twizzlers too.
Yep. So we getting ready to say bye.
Thank you
Okay?
so much for this time, for this conversation, for
You're
that powerful
welcome.
jewel.
Thank you so much for
We
this
gotta stay
conversation.
You're
I
connected.
welcome.
appreciate y'all.
If
Yes.
anybody wants to connect with you, you got an IG.
Oh, I have Miss Wallace to you at MS Wallace WALLACE, the number 2 and you, and my business IG is vision underscore the number 2 underscore life. And
All right,
Eden
bet.
Christine over here, she has Eden's Garden 2019 on IG because she has the plant business.
Yeah. So
I
look,
just told you.
she got a plant business. All right. So look, can you email me all the IGs? I'm gonna make sure the heartbeats get us so we can make sure we
Okay.
follow y'all and support y'all.
Absolutely. I will most certainly will. Thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, thank you. This was a blessing. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you, baby girl.
See you later. Say bye, Eden.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Y'all amazing. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all? So I'm gonna give Miss Sarah's information and I'm gonna give it to Chaos Movies. Chaos Movies, you just been on it, y'all. I'm gonna give the information to Chaos Movies once I get it. And if y'all want it, if y'all want to connect with her, then y'all go ahead and hit her up. But we'll be right back right at 12, y'all. 3 minutes, y'all, with our bonus special guest, y'all. We got a 2 for 2 today, y'all. Can't wait for y'all to talk to Jeremy. He has an empowering and powerful story about the injustice that he faced. So I'll see y'all right back at 12. Hey, y'all. We are back. My man's Jeremy should be getting on in just 1 second. Keon, I know we had Miss Money Mo this morning because she did us a solid and actually donated her slot today so that we could do two special guests. Like we never, ever, ever do two guests in one day unless they sharing like the same hour. But because this one was so important, it's like, man, nah, he needed his own hour. So she graciously donated her time. Thank you, Miss Money Mo. Shout out to you, so that we could have this important conversation with Jeremy today. So he should be getting on in just a second. And we may actually have another session like this, like while we doing um two guests, because at Winning Wednesdays last night we was talking to Miss England, and her 90-year-old grandmother is like still alive and kicking and like straight doing her thing. So I was telling Miss England to hook us up so that her grandmother could potentially be a guest on Success Session so that we can just like talk to her. Like imagine that, like 90 years worth of history, 90 years worth of wisdom, 90 years worth of, challenges and stories. Like that is just going to be so amazing, y'all. So we might do that, but here go my man's, y'all. He coming on here. This is about to be great. There he go. Germ,
Hey, what's up?
how you doing?
Good.
Man, I'm so happy that you decided to do this and so proud of you for having the courage to come and talk, because I've been on you about this forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forever and ever. So for the heartbeats who watching, know that he did not even really want to do this, y'all. I had to stay on him, but I'm so happy that you found the courage and you said, you know what, you want to do it, and that you finally said yes to me. So thank you.
Absolutely.
So look, before we kind of get into, like some of the other things that we want to talk about, can you do just like a brief intro for some of the folks who are watching who don't know who you are?
All right, so I'm Jeremy Hill. I'm 21 years old. Um, I'm from Baltimore. Went to Baltimore City College High School. Um, yeah. So what else you want to, say about myself?
Just anything regular stuff. You about to start a war with this whole city thing. You know that,
No,
right?
I already know. That's why I had to say it though. I
Hey,
had
yo!
to represent. You got to, but no. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much me. I've been working, every day, guys. Special.
Okay. All right, cool. I love it. I love it. And before these little girls get excited, look, y'all, no, he too old. Then you just hear him say he 21. He 21. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
It is crazy, Jerry. So look, so I know that it's a pending, court case and all that. So it's probably not a lot of details that you can give. So, we just going to be respectful about that situation. But can you tell us about that day, like about what happened? Give us as much context as you can and just walk us through, because that's important to know, especially now with everything that's going on.
Right, absolutely. So, put in context, it was a situation, that occurred between me and an older gentleman. So basically, it's them. You can look at it. If you guys just Google, put in Jeremy Hill, Baltimore, the news articles pop up. One of the news articles that go more into depth is WMAR2 News ABC. If y'all want to look at that story. So basically, that was a road rage incident. That was occurring. For me and this guy was speeding around each other. Ultimately it led to, him following me, to my home. So, and there was an incident that occurred from that. I was arrested. The guy was in the hospital. Yeah, I'm not sure how much detail, I should put into it, but, that's pretty much the gist of what happened. So.
Oh my gosh. And like, what was that whole situation like in terms of like the encounter with the police and just all that drama?
All right, so yeah, the police even made a statement saying that, that I tried to run from them, which was, a false statement. They said that they identify themselves. We see in the news all the time about, the police, shooting people. Tatiana Jefferson, for example, when the police shot from outside her house into her home. Breonna Taylor, we was just chatting this, yesterday downtown or whatever, about them identifying themselves as police officers, which they did. They were in an unmarked vehicle when they approached me, so, it caught me off guard, but still, I had my hands up when I was thrown to the ground, hitting the head. But, it definitely wasn't as bad as, a lot of cases that we see in the news and mainstream media and whatnot. But, it still wasn't okay what they did.
Yeah. What were you thinking like at that time? Like what was going through your mind? You said they were unmarked, so they were like plain clothes and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, I just got into the altercation with the guy. He left the scene. I left, went into the house or whatever. When I was in my home, I figured he was in his home. I didn't know if he called somebody, what the case was. So when they pulled up in an unmarked vehicle, I was scared. I figured it might have been him or somebody he sent for me. I didn't know who it was, But when I turned around and looked at him, and I seen that he had the vest on that said, Baltimore Police, my hands immediately went into the air.
That is terrible. Oh my gosh. And can you talk a little bit about like what the process was in terms of you like being able to get out and come home?
Oh yeah. So so basically, whenever you're charged with a crime or whatever, you gotta go before a commissioner. I don't know if you guys, know law or anything like that. You gotta go before a commissioner, who basically determines, if those charges are even liable to stick or whatever the case may be. They decide if they want to send you home or, they want to go ahead and proceed to send you to jail and wait for a second judge. And first judge, I'm sorry. So I seen the commissioner, I was denied bail, went before a district court judge, who also, he debated a little bit, but he also denied me bail. And that's when I went to see a circuit court judge because, of course, it's a felony crime. It was a felony crime that they were trying to charge me with. So the charges got indicted or whatever. It was sent to circuit court, and that judge, let me out.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy. And did they say why they denied it like the first time?
No, he wouldn't say why. The state argued, that of course is a danger to society and whatnot. That was the state's argument, which wasn't really valid. But the judge never really said why he wouldn't let me out. I think he just didn't want it to be on him. I think he just didn't want that pressure, that decision. So when I got to circuit court, they said that they let me out based off of a Maryland law. I can't remember exactly what the law was, but it was a Maryland law that they let me out based off, and based off the fact that I don't have a criminal record, no criminal past. So.
No criminal record, no criminal past. Went to that school, that orange school, and crazy. You got them going off in the comments about this school. Come, how you gonna say, oh, I thought he was handsome at first, but now his school made him look like Don't pay them no mind. They so ghetto. Cam says, if you have kids in the future or now, how would that experience affect how you raise them? That's a good question, Cam.
Yeah, that's definitely a good question. So I'm not sure. I know that, it gives me insight. Like my uncle used to always say, never regret, anything, the situation, and you got to learn something from everything. You know what I'm saying? So when you learn something from something, you can't regret it. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what I would, tell my kids, like, it was something that happened. We're gonna go through things. Sometimes you don't go looking for trouble. Sometimes it finds you, but you learn from that. You learn from whatever it is that you go through.
Yeah, absolutely. So as somebody who has experienced like this injustice, like how do what's going on now make you feel, and like what was your mind state like being at the protests and all that?
You know, I was angry. I was angry like a lot of other people. You know, we angry, we tired. You know what I'm saying? Because when we do something, you know what I'm saying, even if we may not be wrong, we're punished for it. You see what I'm saying? And for you to be, you're human just like I'm human. You know, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? You wear a badge. That's the only difference between us. You got the badge and the gun. I don't. But for you to go around, you know what I'm saying, and do stuff to people with no repercussions. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's what we're tired of. You know, but the demonstration of the protest was peaceful, as you guys, see in the media and whatnot. The protest was peaceful. But people were tired. You know what I'm saying? People were tired. That's what I got from it. People were tired. They were fed up with, this everything is okay. What's going on is right mentality. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. It needs to be changed. And, everybody was there to address that. And I'll be honest with you, it was so much love down there. I told you, remember I posted one time, I think it was my first post about you or whatever. And I was like, more people need to be like you. I was like, I catch the bus and I have conversations with random, strangers sometimes, those conversations can change a life. And I got down there and there was so many conversations. I gave out so many hugs. I'll be honest with you, I was hugging everybody down there. Everybody.
Wow.
There was a lot of love down there, unity.
That is awesome. That is just people you didn't even know, like just connecting.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. I love that. Karen wants to know what's your sign? When your birthday? Is your birthday in January?
Oh, January 1st, Capricorn.
Oh my God, a New Year's baby. I knew it was something like that. Kamaya says, if you could go back, what's one thing that you would change? And please say the school you went to. I don't know why you got this started.
Yeah, I did. I had to start it though, I had to. But one thing I would have changed, looking back, in that time, during the time the whole situation happened, I thought I was doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? I thought that, me going home, whatever, was the right case. But looking back, I would have just turned around. I would have turned around and headed towards, the nearest police station, which I was actually thinking about at the time, but I couldn't think of, like, where's the nearest police station? But looking back, I would have turned around and just went there, But it's like, it's a scary situation, especially like living in Baltimore. You hear about, remember the little girl, her name, but she was shot through the back of the car, they shot through the trunk and they killed the girl in the back seat, and I had a passenger with me. So, it's not only my safety that I was concerned about, but hers as well. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I did try to avoid the situation, but, maybe I could have done a better job.
Oh my gosh. And this won't be a violation, will it? Can you tell us how old that person was? Because you're 21, right?
Right. I think if I recall correctly, like 49.
49. Basically 50, and you 21.
Mm-hmm. And double the weight as well. This big guy. It wasn't a small dude.
Double the weight. Wow. Yo, that is crazy, yo. What do you say to young men who face challenges like that all the time? Like where, kind of like how you said earlier, where they not looking for trouble, the trouble find them. Like, how do they navigate those situations so that they don't find themselves, being like the next victim of this type of injustice, especially when it comes to the police? And
right. So I say learn from your mistakes, learn from what you go through. Because, if that same situation was to occur today, I would see it from the beginning. Like, okay, this might become a problem. Let me find a better way to avoid this than what I did last time. You know what I'm saying? So you always just learn from, your mistakes. Learn from them. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a mistake through no fault of your own, you know what I'm saying? Just learn from it. Learn from it. Because I got that when I was that quote about, sometimes you don't go looking for trouble, sometimes trouble finds you. I actually heard that when I was, up in Towson, in the jail, and the CEO said that to me. I was talking to the CEO. He's like, nah, bro. He's like, I seen your story on the news. He's like, I understand what you're going through. And sometimes, you don't go looking for trouble. Sometimes it just finds you, But, we can try to avoid it all we want sometimes, but it's just not the case. You just learn and move on. Be better, be stronger.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. What scares you the most about like this time that we're living in right now with everything that's happening?
Um, the blatant and the boldness, of a lot of this, racistness that's going on. It's like we see it in the media, we see it online. You go through comments and then people comment. Well, you guys shouldn't have did this. You got like it makes no sense, and then it's just like it's heightened. I guess with Trump's presidency or whatever, people become more bold to say what they want. You know what I'm saying? They become more bold to say what they want and do what they want, and that's kind of what fears me, especially that right now. I'm not in the city right now. I'm in the county. It's primarily white out here. That scares me. You got Ahmaud Arbery running around in Georgia, and you know what I'm saying? It scares me. That feels like I can't jog in this neighborhood. I feel safer being in the city than being out here, and that says a lot.
Mm, yes, that says a whole lot. Oh my gosh. Um, Cam says, can you talk about your experience in jail?
It's not fun. Wasn't fun at all, but like I said, my case was on the news and everything. So when I got up there, a lot of people were already seeing my face on the news. They're like, bro, hey, you the one that was on the news. And like I said, like even going down at the protest when you see like everybody's so frustrated, everybody's so angry, but there was just love, you know what I'm saying? Even in jail, people we was together. We would hear each other's stories. And there was a lot of stories of people, who they caught it worse than I did. You know what I'm saying? They catching the blues from the police, getting beat up, fronts knocked out their mouth, all types of stuff. I'm talking about people, they can't find a person who did it, so they want to pin it on somebody else, you know what I'm saying, by association, all types of stuff going on. People in prison for all types of things. And, we don't get to hear their stories. We don't get to hear them. And, I got a chance to go in there. I got a chance to hear people's stories. And, like it just, that frustration that I felt, you know what I'm saying, that sadness, all that is just like, it's heightened because it's like, it's one thing to read it on the news, but it's one thing to sit there and actually talk to a person who's been through it and see their pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And was that like a good thing or a bad thing that people kind of already recognized you?
It was good and bad. At first I felt geez, like it's not how I want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be seen as that kid in the news who they say did that. You know what I'm saying? I want people to see me for, who I am. A good person. This is not what I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't sell drugs. I don't, hurt people. I was like, when I drive past people and I don't have a dollar in my pocket, homeless people downtown, when I drive past them and I don't have a dollar in my pocket, I feel bad. That's the person I am. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to come up here, people like, damn, bro, like you, excuse my language, but it's like, geez, bro, like you did that, you did like, nah, you feel me? Like it wasn't even like that, bro. It wasn't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. I didn't do anything with any criminal intent. There's no premeditation to anything. You know what I'm saying? So and I feel bad. I was thinking to myself, like, when you sent me the letter and, you was like, think back on the situation or whatever, but I was already thinking to myself, like, that's somebody's father. Granted, he was wrong, you know what I'm saying? But that's a 16-year-old black kid's father. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot,
That's so mature for you to have that perspective, Jerem. I don't even know if you realize the magnitude of that. For him to put you in that situation, somebody who's freaking 50 years old should definitely know better, and you still having care and compassion to be able to say, like, that's somebody's father.
Yeah, absolutely. See, and that's what I learned a while ago is that age. And then when I was down the protest, a guy was trying to tell me, he's like, you only 21, you ain't live life yet, you ain't live life. You feel me? And I was like, now not the time to fuss with you. You're here for unity, whatever. But age, it doesn't mean anything. See, I was blessed to have the mother that I did, to make sure that I was well educated, to make sure that I knew right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mom, if you want here, shout out to you, I love you. But I was blessed to have that, you know what I'm saying? And not everybody is as blessed as I am. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has them same opportunities, educational and whatnot. So, I don't blame them. Sometimes you just don't know. If you never taught any better, how can you know better?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Shout out to you, Miss Pebbles. And shout out to Chanel, your aunt Chanel. She on here. I see her on here showing big love.
Uh,
Um, this is a cool question. Kim says, can you talk about the goals that you have for yourself personally and as far as your career? And how do you think that you have inspired other people? Cam, I love that because I'm definitely inspired.
um, to be honest, I really haven't thought about much how, I'm inspiring others. I just hope that, somebody can learn, somebody can learn something from this. Because like when I listen to conversations, when I listen to the lives you be having, I just look to learn something, you know what I'm saying? And I just hope that somebody somewhere can get something from this. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you about them conversations with strangers. I just hope somebody can get something from that. As far as goals, um, I had a lot of time to reflect. I want to be in a better place than I was before. I mean, granted, I had my own apartment, had my own car, I was doing my own thing, at 20.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was in jail for my 21st birthday. It was at 20 I was doing this.
Oh
But
my God.
I just hope to be in a better place. You know what I'm saying? I just hope to be in a better place. To work harder. I got a car again now. I just told you that the other day. I was talking to you the other day. I got a car again. My girl got her own car now. The lawyer paid, so we moving from there to bigger and better things, not to the same things that I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right. That is amazing. So we have a lot of young people who are watching who are like in that age bracket right before you. So like that 16 to 18, and they trying to find their way and thinking about, what's going to be like their next step. So could you give them like some advice on how they could be established? Because just to hear you say at 20, you had your own apartment, you had your own car. Like, what? I got kids 21, 22 that's struggling with that type of stuff.
Nah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a struggle. Anything that's worthwhile is a struggle. Anything worthwhile is a struggle. But I wasn't even. I know a lot of them may have their own businesses and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have my own business. I was working at McDonald's when I was doing this. You know what I'm saying? But you just gotta put in that work. If it's worthwhile, put in that work. You know what I'm saying? And money management. Money management. See, like I was managing my money well enough to pay my bills before, but now I'm focused on managing my money well enough to start my business. You know what I'm saying? To go on to build better things for myself, my family, my future family. So,
No, that's right. And what's this business going to be? We need to hear about this.
but I got so many business plans. I just need to stick to one of them. I gotta find one to stick with it.
Oh, you one of them. You got a million things on the table.
Yeah, one of them. I'm one of them. But no, I always tell my mother like my biggest goals and stuff, and that's why I'm so glad to be here today. Be honest with you, because I love what you do, John. I do, and
Thank you.
I want to build a platform. You know what I'm saying? I want to build this big platform that people, can, people from my community, like how you help with entrepreneurship and whatnot. But I want to be able to help with housing. I want to be able to help with schooling, you know what I'm saying? To make sure that these kids get the best education, so we got the best tools to thrive because, they took our tools away.
Mhm.
They took our tools away years ago. So I wanna replace those tools. I wanna make them bigger and better than they ever was. So I got big plans, but you gotta start with the small steps, and that's what this is. That's what me attending the protest was. Them small steps.
Yes, I love it. Shout out to your aunt Ricky too. She on here. She said she love you, Jern. So proud of who you are and who you're becoming. You're such an inspiration, so raw and direct. Keep it pushing, fam.
I appreciate it. I
Yo,
appreciate it.
fam showing mad love. I love it. I love it. KR Smoothies wants to know, can you talk about your vision for your future? What do you see? Where do you see yourself?
Um, so as far as a vision for my future, like I said, I already spoke a little bit about where I want to start for my community. Um, and I actually wanted to get with you to start. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is the small steps that I'm taking to try to get to that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a community leader. You know what I'm saying? I want to help. I want to help my people. I hate to see us
Mhm.
struggling. Like even a situation with the guy. I hope that one day after this we can attend a protest together. To be honest with you, I want to sit down and have a conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this you know, to be like, oh, you know, you guys get mad when a cop kills you, but you know, what about when we kill each other? And granted, but we don't kill each other just for being black. You know what I'm saying? I saw another situation, but you know what I'm saying? I do want to end that as well. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as far as just like giving people the tools that I had, that I was blessed with. You know, I was blessed with mentors. I was blessed with a great family, you know what I'm saying? And I want people to be able to have that. You know what I'm saying? Blood not always thicker than water. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the water that, you know, push you further than your blood ever will. But, you know, I just want people to be able to have those tools and opportunities and be surrounded by those people, you know, that have a positive impact on them because I was.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? You started to scratch the surface of a very important topic that people always say, you know, like, how do we expect people to care about Black lives and how can Black lives matter and why should they matter to other people when it seems like in our own community, they don't matter. So can you just talk a little bit about, you know, how you feel about the situation and we just call it what it is, you know, us killing each other and what you think is perpetrating
Right.
it.
So, no, definitely. I feel you. So, and that's why it's a touchy subject for a lot of people because, you know, on one side, and I look at all sides of the argument, you know what I'm saying? On one side, you got, well, y'all don't care about each other because y'all kill each other. And granted, you know what I'm saying? That's a point. That's a point. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's a great point, but it's a point. But you gotta understand what's going on behind the lines. You know what I'm saying? White people kill each other too. It's the situations that are occurring. You see what I'm saying? Like this road rage incident. It didn't have to go there. It didn't have to go there. You know what I'm saying? So when we start, you know what I'm saying, taking the time out to love each other and to find love in our hearts for one another, you know what I'm saying? That's where we can move on from there because, you know, it's not just that we don't care about each other or we don't care about each other's lives. Sometimes it's that we care about our own lives more than the next one. And, you know, situations occur. Maybe I'm selling drugs on this phone and you don't like that, so you want to come intervene or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? It's situations and there's underlying stories behind all of it. Media just say, oh, another Black man was killed today because, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But there's stories behind it. The stories behind it. He just wasn't gunned down because of the color of his skin. You know, so but at the same time, you know, they do got a point. We do need to stop. We need to stop. You know, we need to find a way to say, all right, enough is enough. You know, enough is enough. It's time to band together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much for that clarity and perspective. It definitely makes a lot of sense. Chaos Movie says, how much support do you have and how has that impacted your process?
I got so much support. I'll be honest, like I might got the best family in the world. I got a lot of support, and I appreciate everybody that's been there, including you, Johnny. I appreciate it. You know, my mother's been there since the start. You know what I'm saying? She's been right by my side. Look, what you want to do, you're going to get it done. You know what I'm saying? You know, you talked about my aunt Chanel, Rika, Ricky, you know, they all right there with me. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate the support. I appreciate all of it.
Yeah, no, that is a beautiful thing. And the fact, I mean, hopefully it's not too hard for you to talk about, but if you could, like, I think our young people would definitely benefit. Like, your family is going through a real tragedy right now.
Yeah, they
Like a real tragedy, and still holding up, you still being positive. Can you talk to us and share just as much as you're comfortable sharing with, you know, what you guys are facing like right now?
Yeah, so right now my uncle just passed. He passed Monday, Memorial Day Monday. Yeah, it's sad. Because I actually, you know, he was a good man. He was a good man, and I try to be a lot like him in the aspect that, you know, he was a nice person. He was there for us. He supported us. You know, a lot of people don't know, but I was working at McDonald's. It was my first job. I was 16, and this guy come to the register. And he's like, yeah, something. He's just going up about some cookies or something. You know, going crazy. And I'm just like, you know how I get in McDonald's sometimes. Y'all see the video. He going crazy. And my uncle right behind us said, hey, like, that's my little nephew, man. You feel me? Like, that's my nephew. Even when I didn't even see him there. Never expect him to be there. So even when you thought he wasn't, he was there for you. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a big loss for us. It is. We gonna miss him.
Yeah, I know. You know, I don't know if you know, but your Uncle Man was the first person that I met from your family, aside from Rika. Yeah, like I met Rika first, obviously, but then your Uncle Man was the first person that I met. He pulled up on me with Northwood Shopping Center.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, but he was a good man, a fine example of, you know, what a young Black man should be, what a father should be, what a king should be. Definitely, definitely going to be missed. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
And they want to support you. You gotta drop your IG.
Is I don't even know. I think it's J Goon, J.AYGOON. I
All
don't
right,
be
y'all.
on.
That's not his community support IG.
Yeah, it's not. I was gonna say I don't be on Instagram a lot. I be on Facebook. If y'all want me on Facebook, Jeremy Hill. Y'all see.
All right, we gonna get his social media stuff, y'all, and I'm gonna share it with y'all. Yo, you know they think Facebook for the old people. So for you to be 21 talking about so you on Facebook.
Nah, I started Instagram a couple years ago. You know, that was when I was younger. You know.
You are crazy. Kev says, how big do you feel patience is during this time in your life with the pandemic and the injustice system and everything that's going on? That's a good question, Ken.
That's a good question. I mean, patience is a big part of it. Patience is big. Like right now we talked about, you know, the cases pen. I'm still waiting on that to be over with. So I mean, patience. We gotta have patience. You know, patience comes. But a certain amount of patience as well. You know what I'm saying? It can't be too patient because now is the time for change. You know what I'm saying? You see the whole country is going at it right now. Now is the time for change. So, you know, we've been patient for years. We've been patient for years. You don't got to think about just in your lifetime. Think about, you know, our ancestors, you know, people that came before us. You know, we've been patient for a long time. And I mean, the patience is going to continue, but we need some change. We do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Jerm, you are definitely blessed to have a good family, a great support system, a great mom, and people behind you who love you and support you. A lot of our heartbeats don't have that. In fact, a lot of them will, you know, say like, I'm raising myself at this point. What do you say to young people who feel like they don't have family, they don't have support, and they are pretty much kind of like on their own, and they're not privy to having the love of a parent or, you know, somebody that's related to them? What would you say to them?
Well, if they know you, they have you. I tell them that start out.
Thank you, Jeff.
You know, for real though, like you know, it's people out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I'm blessed to have the blood that I do, but you know, it's not always taking on what. You know, there's a lot of people out there that care about you that you may not even know. You know, me for example, if you want to reach out to me, I'm gonna see what I can do for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have much, but you know, I still reach out and see what I can do. Because you know, I know it's hard out there. You know, like my girl, for example, you know, she wasn't blessed to have, you know, the people that I had. And that's why I've been there for her. We've been together like 5 years now. But that's why I've been there for her, you know, through everything. You know, she lost her dad, you know, a few years ago. So, you know, that was even harder on her. She really felt like she had nobody. But it's people out here like me, you know what I'm saying, that's willing to help. You know, and we're gonna be there for you. Trust me.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for just opening yourself up like that. And I'm so sorry to hear about your girlfriend's dad. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was like 2018, like 2 years ago. But yeah.
How do you support somebody through that? Because that has also been something that a lot of our heartbeats are struggling with, you know, where like their friends or people who they're close with loses somebody and you just don't know like how to be there or if you even should be.
Yeah, I mean you should be. Even if sometimes they act like they don't want you there, they want you there, you know. You know, you just gotta be there whatever way you can. You know, I always tell her like I'm not the best, you know, at dealing with, you know, like as far as like grieving conversations go, you know, I'm not always the best talker, but I can sit there and I can hug you. You know what I'm saying? We can sit there and we can hug it out. If you got something that you want to get off your chest, you say it, I'm here to listen, you know. You just be there. Like literally just be there. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's important. And I think a lot of people kind of miss that. You know, sometimes they think you got to have the right words or you got to know what to say. So
Right.
thank you for confirming that. Karen got all the great questions. He said, what do you think are the essentials for a good, healthy relationship? Because you just set up here and say y'all been together for 5 years. So that means since you was like 16.
Yeah. Yep.
Like how? How?
You know, it's a voluntary bill. I told her from the jump, you know what I'm saying? When things started to get serious, I was like, look, you know, I got goals. You know what I'm saying? I want to meet those goals. We either gonna grow together or we're gonna grow apart. And that's just the, you know, that's the open communication about what you want from this relationship. You know what I'm saying? I always said it. I was like, we either gonna grow together or we're gonna grow apart. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, I want to grow with you. You know, you find that person that want to grow with you, you take that, you hold on to that, and y'all just grow together from that. You know, as long as you got love and you got, you know, focused mindset on where you want the relationship to be and communication about what's going on during that time in the relationship and how y'all can improve on that, be good.
Wow. Wow and wow. So as a young person though, how do you keep your relationship from not being like a distraction? Because there's a lot of these heartbeats that's in these relationships, and I'm just looking at them like, yo, if toxic was a couple.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we had our problems. Everybody had their problems, you know. But as far as, like I said, it's just that focused mindset. You know what I'm saying? We can focus together, or you can focus on something else, and I'm gonna focus on something else. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? You know, with certain times, like when my father passed, I felt like, you know, we got set back a little bit. You know, as far as a schedule where I wanted to be during this time or what. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, you know, she needed me, so I'm gonna be there for her. So you can't forget the love in the relationship, but you know, at the same time, you know, you gotta have, you know, ideas. You gotta have goals, basically. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the goals, it's easy to become distracted by this or distracted by that. But when you got goals and you let them know, like, this is what my goals are, you know what I'm saying? Either you with me on that, you know what I'm saying, or you're not. You can have your own goals too, but we need to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We can't be sitting here doing the same thing over and over and over, you know what I'm saying? Repeating that pattern. Especially like if you have a toxic relationship. I can't speak on that too much, but
Hey yo.
No, but if you do, you know, you gotta work on that. You gotta work on that. You gotta let them know, you know, like communication is everything. Just let them know, like, look, I'm done with this unless we can change this. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I love it. I love it. Can you talk a little bit about your siblings? You have a brother and a sister. Can you talk about what your relationship is like?
So yeah, absolutely. So, you know, as you get older, my brother, he went to the Navy when I was like in middle school. You know what I'm saying? And me and my brother used to be close. We were 6 years apart, but we was close. You know what I'm saying? I ran behind him, did everything he tried to do. You know what I'm saying? He practically helped raise me. Like, he really did. He practically helped raise me. I was with him a lot. You know what I'm saying? My little sister, you know, I always try to be a positive example for her. That's why I don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? I don't do a lot of things because I'm like, if she thinks that I can do this, you know what I'm saying? And she think that it's okay for that to happen in her relationship, and that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? I don't, no way, like domestic abuse. And that was another thing I was talking to a lot of people in jail about. You know, and I'm just like, look, that's not okay at all. You know what I'm saying? That's not okay at all. Because I got a little sister. You know what I'm saying? She can't call me and let me know that somebody touched her or put their hand. Oh, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta like, yeah. But we close. I love my little sister. I love my big brother. You know what I'm saying? We close. You know, even when we getting older, you know, we moved our separate ways. I moved here, they moved there. You know, the calls don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he feel emotional, he called me. Hey, bro, look. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Little sis too. You know, she called me. Look, man, mommy getting on my nerves. I'm like, I know she get on all that nerves sometimes, but it's okay. She's still like.
Yo, that is great. I love that mindset though. Like, how are you able to like really put that in practice to be able to say, I got a little sister, so these are some things that I'm not going to do. Like, how are you able? Because some people got sisters and they ain't thinking like that. Some people got daughters And they ain't thinking like that at all. Like, how were you able to put that into practice? And if you didn't have a sister, do you think that you would be a little different?
Yeah, if I didn't have a sister, I know I would probably be different. I really would.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what it always goes back to me. Like when I said I was blessed, you know what I'm saying? So I was blessed to be able to have people who gave me the mindset that I had. You know what I'm saying? You know, even when I was in jail, I was talking to a kid, and you know, he was like 21. He was like, he's like, we kind of born into these situations. He's like, my parents don't love me. They don't care about me. You know, they don't do this. They don't do that. They never taught me this or taught me right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? All I was taught was wrong. That's all I was taught. And I was like, and I understand that. I said, but you're 21 now. You know what I'm saying? You're 21 and we live in the age with Google. I got a question on Google, son. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you gotta start taking accountability for what you did. You gotta start taking accountability. I think you were saying this in one of your Joni Jules. I always watch them. Accountability, you know what I'm saying? Accountability for what you do. You know, you can't sit by, you know what I'm saying, and do something and then get mad when it gets done to somebody you love. Like you said, I got all my aunts on there. I got a lot of aunts, mothers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One mother, but I got a lot of aunts, you know what I'm saying? A little sister. So, like, I got a lot of females in the family. I can't go out here and treat females a certain way and then expect the females in my family to be treated, you know what I'm saying, any different. So the same thing that I expect, you know, the same people to treat my family with, it's the same thing I treat other people.
Girl, you need to be on a national stage with that message. Like, for real. And I hope my young men that's watching, I hope y'all is paying attention. I see you, Naeem. You get all these jewels. That's right. Cam is lighting you up though. She says, can you talk about what's needed to actually be a good role model? And how do you think we can break generational curses? It's a good question, Cam.
Good heart. I think a good heart is needed to be a good role model. You know what I'm saying? A good heart and, you know, an open-mindedness to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I always look at things from different points of view. I never look at it from just my point of view because I know that we was always different. We all got different stories, different timelines, you know, so I can't just look at things my way and be like, you know what, that's the right way. It's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
So to be a good role model, you really you gotta start with yourself. You gotta start with yourself. You can't look and expect other people to do things that you won't do yourself. And what was the other part of the question? She asked something else.
Yeah, about generational curses. Like, how can you break those?
Oh, you just gotta push. You gotta push. I know certain things, you know, like my father, you know, he was a certain, you know, kind of person. And, you know, I said I wasn't gonna do that. You know, it was as simple as that. I woke up and was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this today. I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna ever do it. You know, and the things that I see him do wrong, I'm gonna get right. And the things that he do right, I'm gonna do right. You know what I'm saying? Like my father, he got manners. He's a good man. He got manners. You know what I'm saying? I got that from him. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. Respect. You know what I'm saying? And you know the things that he did wrong, you know, I don't do that. That's why, you know, I don't go out here. I don't sell drugs. I don't do, you know, things like that because it's like it took time away from us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want time to be taken, you know, away from my family, time that they can spend with me. So it hurt my heart being in that, man. On Christmas and on my birthday, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hurt my heart. I ain't never went to Christmas without seeing my family. So I don't plan on going anymore. So that's why you gotta choose the route. You know what I'm saying? Stay to it. You can't do what everybody in your family may have done. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you see that it's wrong, don't do it.
Yeah. How do you know at such a young age though? Like, you know, this is something that I shouldn't do versus something that I should do, especially when it's being modeled by somebody that you love and care about.
It's how you feel, you know. I was hurt. Whenever he went to jail, I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't want other people, especially family, to feel that hurt that I felt. You know what I'm saying? You know, I said it's all about your heart being in the right place. know what I'm saying? If you feel something, you know it's not right, then you do something about it. If that means acting with yourself first, then you do that. You know, I always tell my mother, like, self-reflect, self-reflect, because she go out sometimes. But I tell her, like, look, man, I love you, but self-reflect. We gotta think about this. She be doing it too. She be like, you know what, Jeremy, self-reflect today. I'll be like, absolutely right. Like, self-reflect. Always look back on what you can be doing better and do it.
I know that's right. Shout out, Pibbs. Your Aunt Chanel screaming, "We love you, Jeremy." She,
I love you too.
yeah. Kev says, so how do you think you learn from mistakes instead of making the same mistakes again? Because sometimes it can feel easier to just do the same mistakes and do the same thing over. That's so true.
Right. No, yeah, you definitely right. You're definitely right. I don't know if we talk about this if any of y'all might smoke weed or whatnot. That's the new trend going on.
Talk
Everybody.
about it, please.
Yeah, so everybody smoke. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think it's cool now. We smoking, blah blah blah. But I said, and that was a mistake that I was making in the past. You know what I'm saying? And it was a repeated mistake. Every day that you get up and you go spend money on grass before you can spend money on your priorities, that's a mistake. You know what I'm saying? You might say, hey, look, my bill's paid. I was saying the same thing. Look, my rent paid, my car note paid, my insurance paid. I can smoke. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that money can go to something better. That money definitely can go to something better. So it's all about, my mother used to tell me when I was little, I used to be like, yeah, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to change. She'd be like, you can't change overnight. Yeah, you can. You wake up and you make that decision. I'm not doing this today.
And just cold turkey, just like that. You don't do it ever again.
Just like that, man. You find your reasons as well. You know what I'm saying? You find your reasons. And, I'm giving you some, but you find your own personal reasons. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't want to do that no more. If you see yourself doing something and you like, man, and you shaking your head at it, don't keep shaking your head at yourself. Change it. Change it. Sometimes it can be hard. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know it's easier said than done. But sometimes you just gotta find that reason, man.
Yeah, my man Naeem said that he tried to tell young men the same thing, but they ended up with nothing. And Naeem is only in the 8th grade, already being a mentor to people.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
He's in the 8th grade. And it's crazy that you brought that up because I was just fussing about a week or two ago because 2 of our kids who are over 18 can't get this great job that we got them because they can't pass a drug test for this freaking weed stuff. And I'm just like, yo, how?
Yeah. Man, it's real. I mean, don't get me wrong, you feel me? I was that at one point, you feel me? I was smoking, I couldn't pass the drug test. I was that at one point, believe me. But I was like, actually, it's crazy because the day before that situation happened, right? I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna smoke. I'm gonna drink a bunch of water. I'm ready to go get me a job. It was a Home Depot hire for $16.75 an hour. You feel me? I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go get this job. So I started smoking. It was like 2 days before my interview day. You feel me? Crazy, I know. But it was like 2 days before my interview day. I actually got the job, and this was the day before the incident occurred where I got arrested. The day before. Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy. Can say how much has discipline affected your life? That's a good question, Ken.
Yeah, discipline is a big part of anything. If you want to go somewhere, you need discipline. And that's just the bottom line. You need it. When there's no discipline there, like when we were just talking about the mistakes, you repeat the same mistakes over and over. You gotta discipline yourself not to make those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's always easier said than done. But you gotta find your way, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta put a post-it note, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta post a note on my car, say don't speed. You know what I'm saying? So every time I get my car lit, you know what, I don't need to speed today.
Yo,
you gotta
for
do
real?
that. No, for real. Like for real though, cause I speed a lot, but that's a different story. But sometimes you gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find ways to discipline yourself. That's why they say starting with making your bed in the morning. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand the significance of that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not making your bed, you just get up and do 10 push-ups. You know what I'm saying? You like 10 push-ups, man. I ain't a lie, I could do 30. Yeah, but just do 10 is the discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's the discipline, getting the same routine every day.
That's an interesting way to think of it. Can you break down making up your bed? Because I don't even know that I'm all that familiar with that. I know that there was a video circulating around, but I never watched the video.
Oh no, yeah, it's been said. It's been said a lot before. They say if you wake up and you make your bed, you know what I'm saying, you'll be more likely to, take out the trash or do whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like this idea of discipline. You waking up and you telling yourself, you know what, I don't usually make my bed. I'm gonna make my bed this morning. So then throughout the day, you might find something else. So, you know what, I don't usually do it. Maybe I usually smoke, but I'm not gonna do that today. Because I made my bed. I'm not even gonna smoke. You feel me? Next day you wake up, make your bed again. You know what? I ain't smoking again today. And now see you disciplining yourself. Disciplining yourself. So next thing you know, you feel me, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna make your bed, you feel what I'm saying? You're gonna brush your teeth if you don't brush your teeth on the usual. You feel, I hope y'all do, but if you don't, if you don't, you're gonna brush your teeth, you feel me? You're gonna wash your face, you feel me? You're gonna get fresh, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna walk out in no sweatpants and whatever, slippers or whatever, bonnet, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna take care of yourself and do better. That's discipline.
Yeah, no, I love it. Your Aunt Rika on here, she said, in order to break generational curses, you have to know better to do better. You have to start with yourself and be the change you want to see in others. Jeremy has had examples of what that looks like. And by the way, that's my baby. I helped raise them.
I love it. I love it. She's right, though. She's absolutely right. You do got to know better to do better. And that's what we was talking about that earlier about the guy, why I wasn't mad at him. In order to know better, you got to do better. No matter your age or whatever, But we live in a digital age now. Everything is online, you know what I'm saying? Teach yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You don't always got to be taught by somebody. Teach yourself. But see, this all goes back to my upbringing, because when I was in like the 3rd grade, we was in school. I always was interested in math. You know what I'm saying? My mother was like, you need to go read the dictionary or something, but I wasn't really a big English person. You know what I'm saying? She's like, go flip to the back or something, do something in that. So I looked to the back, and I started seeing these fractions and how to add fractions and subtract them, multiply fractions and whatnot. And so I ended up teaching myself that. So when I went to the 4th grade and we actually started fractions, I had already known it.
Wow.
So it all goes back, you know what I'm saying, to your upbringing. Sometimes we really do just got to be taught better.
Wow, yo, that is crazy. Taught yourself fractions in the 4th grade, and here we are, got people graduating in high school, don't know what a fraction is. Wow.
So you gotta get them in city,
That is, hey, yo, I heard you. That is crazy. Kev says about entrepreneurship. She's like, would you do it full time? And also, do you think that you would attend college? And if so, for what?
If I were to attend college, I probably would just attend it for law. That way I could, be a pro bono lawyer and help people, dealing with the situation that I'm dealing with, you know what I'm saying, without charging the money for it. If I was to go to college. But what was the other part of it? Oh, entrepreneurship full time.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, like I said, I got a lot of plans. If I had one I could stick to, then yeah, I definitely would be, a full-time entrepreneur. If I had a plan that I could stick to, you know what I'm saying? But I just got so many of them, I gotta pick one,
We gotta get that up and running. Man, we never ever have enough time for these important conversations. But Jeremy, you are an entire blessing. And I really appreciate you again, just for having the courage to come and talk to us and for being so transparent about your life and what's happening. I gotta ask you this one last question though, because it's the question we ask everybody that come through. And that is, if you had to leave us with one jewel, what would you leave us with?
Jeez. Like I said, learn from your mistakes. Don't regret. Learn from your mistakes. If you regret something, it's because you didn't learn from it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jerm. And we're gonna be on you, man. Can you make sure you give me your social media so I can share it with the Heartbeat so that they can keep up with you? And when you're ready to do this community leadership stuff, man, you already know we got you.
But I appreciate it.
We got you all day. Oh, your sister on here. Mimi said, yay, Jerm.
Oh, what's up? She in the other room. She on that for? You need to come out here.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, don't play out like that, yo. You silly.
Man.
Thank you so much, Jerm. I appreciate you. And you know, we connected, we family. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
All right, definitely. Thanks again, Johnny. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I know you had to stay on me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Though.
All right, bye-bye. Y'all, didn't I tell y'all Jared was about to be good, y'all? Didn't I tell y'all he was the man, yo? So humble, like so professional, just like a great example of what a young Black boy is. So don't let the media tell y'all who our Black men are, who our Black boys are, because that right there, that's who they truly are. And even when they, you know, make mistakes or find themselves in trouble, just like how he said, you know, he wasn't looking for no trouble. Trouble came to him, and there were actually some things that, you know, probably could have did a little bit better. But yo, that shouldn't automatically condemn people. So I appreciate Jerem for having the courage and the confidence to come and talk. Because like I told y'all, he was not trying to come, y'all. Like I've been on him for a minute. So I'm so happy that he decided to come. Hey, Binky, is that you? What's up, baby? I miss you, y'all. I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. But y'all, I think, let me check my calendar. I think we good for the day, y'all. I think the day is an early day. Let me see. Yo, today is an early day, y'all. We out of here. So look, make sure that y'all find something productive to do for the rest of your day, because it is very, very early. So nobody should be sitting around playing the game or not doing nothing. You should be doing something productive. For people who are joining us tonight at 6 for Thriving Thursdays, send me some topics or something if y'all wanna talk about anything in particular. Oh, Binky used to call me his best friend. Oh, that's my best friend, y'all. I love that boy. Yeah, Binky, don't try to melt my little ice box. Caught me off guard with that. Oh, I remember you was so young, kept saying, yay, my best friend. You right, man. We best friends to the end, man. I appreciate it. But yo, y'all already know what it is, y'all. Tell a friend to tell a friend, yo. Success sessions. Listen, yo, you want to learn, you want to grow. This is where you start. You want to connect with success-minded young people and adults. This is where you start. And like how Chaos Smoothie said, if you don't want to be a broke bum, this is where you start, yo. Success sessions. Cam, I see you. Yo, you've been doing Career Edge. Yup, because the people who are in the YouthWorks project, y'all know we got that meeting, the Career Edge meeting. So I'm excited about that. Hey, Binky, you better get up with me. That's what's up. You got my number. Definitely would love to catch up with you. But that's it, y'all. We out. The countdown has officially begun, y'all. We only got 11 more days, y'all. 11 more days, y'all. So we got to make the best out of these days. So I'll see y'all later on if you're doing Thriving Thursday, 6 o'clock. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, 10 o'clock, y'all, right here.